to close the distance, and this is what Nova cannot really afford.
A little. They got what, 45 points cushion, man. That's more points than not the BM, but that's more points than almost Fenerbahce down there at the bottom with 46 points. And I believe Order alone has some more elim points than the total elim points from a couple of these squads. So yeah, this tournament has definitely been the Nova/Order tournament, player spotlight. Dude's going to be walking away with a ton of highlight clips after this event. So it's really, like you said, I agree with you. Xria, Enigma Galaxy, Na'Vi, it's up to these teams to try to close that gap today. And one thing that they can really do is pay close attention to the kill feed. If they recognize on the kill feed, okay, Nova, they got taken out. I think, to me, that's the indicator, if you are one of these teams in second, third, or fourth, to really ramp it up and really go all out and try to capitalize on as many points as possible. So pay close attention to the kill feed today.
Yeah, you got to pay close attention to the kill feed without a doubt. But yeah, I want Furious Gaming and Fenerbahce to just go all in. I want them to spoil some games over here. I want some content. I want to see some teams getting I want to see some people rage over here, okay? I want to see Fenerbahce and Furious Gaming to try and dig on some enemy hills, just to do it on purpose as well, because they're all the way in the bottom of the leaderboard. There's no way they're going to be able to get even in the top 5. But yeah, if they do so, if they just try to have a little bit of fun in the lobby, I feel like that can also be a huge thing. That can also be something that viewers will enjoy as well.
Big Malo already down from Furious in particular.
Yeah.
Infinity, looks like they're setting up a bridge camp. Look at this, nice little glimpse of them from this nice point of view. Now, Na'Vi are down there on the military base island. So if Na'Vi do decide to use that west bridge, this could pay off big time if they can capitalize on these elim points as they pass by.
Na'Vi.
But the blue, it's going to apply a little bit of pressure. So do they wait? Do they sit back and wait, or do they relocate? Right, that's the question in my mind. If you're Infinity, what do you think the play is here, Necro?
I feel like you should just try to relocate as quick as possible. You do not sit back and wait. I do understand Na'Vi all the way in the blue zone. But again, Na'Vi is one of those teams that are really well known for those late rotations, and they're going to keep on doing so. So Na'Vi, that's kind of like their main play style. Infinity, on the other hand, I feel like they should not wait for Na'Vi. Instead, they should just try and rotate and maybe try and play things a little safe, try and book their ticket already inside the next zone. But again, they're all the way on the edge as well, so I don't know where the next circle is going to be shifting, but the circle shifts right in the center. There's a lot of teams already in the center of the zone, so making yourself comfortable in the center is going to be quite tough.
Yeah, not too bad of a circle shift either for the Infinity if they do want to kind of stick it out a little longer, try to camp out Na'Vi. But I agree with you, looking at the overall leaderboards, the Infinity have a lot more to lose in this situation if it goes awry for them compared to Na'Vi. But then on the flip end, Na'Vi, remember, they are chasing down that 1.5 million US dollars. So they don't want to let that slip on out of their grasp either. So looks like both teams going to be popping in their vehicles, looking to relocate into the zone. But over here, Xavier getting sprayed upon by Action, the solo out there.
Oh, the solo in the compound. I'm pretty sure Xavier, do you realize, is the only solo man taking a lot of shots onto them. But also has dealt quite a lot of damage. So Xavier, I don't really feel like they're going to be pledging a fight against Action, at least for now. They found themselves a safe house and they're going to take control of it, which makes quite a lot of sense. But yeah, Action, Stalwart Esports, there's huge separation coming out. If you look at the map feed, Dave, the separation between Action and the rest of the pack, I don't personally like it, but again, maybe they have a little bit of game plan.
Yeah, I'm trying to count how many meters away. It's at least 700 meters, but I do believe Action is going to look to pop into their vehicle and try to regroup with their teammates just a little north of Milta. So, yeah, there he is down there. So, it is kind of early on. Teams are kind of shuffling to find that perfect spot to call home for the time being. So, Action, if they play their cards right, might be able to just avoid all the sightlines right now and actually make it back to their team.
Now, the team that I'm really worried for has to be Infinity. Now, they were camping the bridge, but look at the late rotation coming outside from Na'Vi. Now, they are going to wrap up right behind Infinity, and I don't feel like Infinity are going to expect anyone to be right on the back. It's a 2-2 split coming out from the side of Infinity, but again, they're quite spread out from each other as well, so Infinity might just have a little threat unless Na'Vi decides to go for a complete Like, they just throw a complete new curveball and they just try to go all the way up from north, which should be a good rotation. Yeah, I don't really see a lot of teams near school. They can try and get those compound, but again, the next circle shift, I don't really feel like it's going to shift anywhere near school.
Yeah, so I do believe Na'Vi, they are playing this one slow because we saw them kind of zooming in on that bridge. They did recognize, okay, there's a couple enemies on that bridge. That's why they played slow. So with that in mind, this is a team that is very comfortable playing in the early game blue. I wouldn't be surprised if they just avoid trying to send it directly into zone and just wrap all the way around, kind of like what you were mentioning, kind of north of Pachinki, near school, wrapping over there. Of course, we can see it is going to be free and clear, so that is like the perfect call for Na'Vi right now.
Yeah, and they also like to play on the edges, so considering how they like to play their game style, it makes a lot of sense why they're rotating like that. Yeah, for now, H2G and Furious Gaming quite close to each other. Now, Furious Gaming, as I mentioned, they have nothing to lose over here. They can just try and spoil S2G's game. H2G, they're also not looking that great all the way on kind of like the bottom of the board, I would say, on 11th place. So H2G, not looking that great, but still, there's at least a chance that they can make top 5.
I agree with you. Not for S2G, but for Furious, when we're talking about nothing to lose, but then at the same time, you don't want to lose, if that makes sense. So, yes, they have nothing to lose, but you don't want to be the team that gets taken out in 16th position.
Tesan. Nah, sekarang harusnya udah bener. Prediksi menang Nova. Stay tune, ada giveaway nanti guys. Ada giveaway merchandise Nova. Ada kan? Ada giveaway merchandise boom maksudnya boom. Wah, gak lihat lagi circle 3 tadi gimana?
Now next 3 on to move instantly. You realize they're not going to be able to regain the control. So now next 3 on to move. Trying to position themselves, trying to find a little bit more comfortable spot. Damwon Gaming right next to them as well.
Tabrak goat like India Gaming guys ya.
And what a great jump shot coming in from the side of Godlike. But the problem is they're also getting shot at from the back. But the opening being found at the compound, that's going to be opening quite a lot of things up. But over here,
gak bakal menguntungkan buat dua tim ini sih, jujur li.
Yeah, look at the
Dua lawan dua,
dua
lawan dua ya kan.
Because they had a 2-2 split to close the gap and try to provide that support. Jonathan Clutchcott still gonna be alive behind this broken wall. Looks like DXavier are gonna be pulling back. So one player I was looking at in particular from DXavier who has that clutch badge is Frankie, right? It has to be Frankie. So I was looking to see exactly what Frankie was doing, and it looks like Frankie was just providing that oversight, that cover fire for their squad mate to pull back and save.
Yeah, but now DXavier, they have a really good positioning as well. But the problem is they don't have the man number to hold it down. Only 2 men to try and hold the position down, so defense might just crumble.
BTR.
The team decided to challenge a fight against them.
Shelter.
Another one of those teams on the
jahat banget Secret.
Look what they're doing.
All the way on 12th place. Yeah, they're just blocking the ways. They're just making sure Furious Gaming are being trapped inside that bunker.
What a huge, like, big brain play. They know there's an enemy potential down there in the bunker, and they parked their UAS in a certain position that is able to not crawl or jump or move past it, and then they blew that up. So yes, Furious Gaming, they are safe for now, and yes, there's a couple entrances to these bunkers, but that right there, that's one of them eliminated. And now look at the other entrance. It looks like Godlike are going to be pulling up right behind. So Furious, man, they are stuck underground.
Oh, they are. 3 players Godlike right outside the gates. Furious Gaming, they can't really move a lot. They're also giving a lot of footsteps away with the way they're moving. So Godlike are pretty well known for what Furious Gaming is doing over here.
Okay.
Gaming as well, they're big
Nova masih split. Wow, susah nih untuk gabung mereka. Last circle yang kemana nih? Harusnya ke Nova ya, harusnya ke shit. That's fucked up, guys.
I do already see 2 players falling down from Godlike, and it's H2G taking a little bit of shots onto them, and Nova as well.
Order dapat dari mana coba?
Did actually move away. So you got
dia harus muter jauh nih.
Godlike and then Team Secret blocking all the entrances right now. If you are Furious, you are stuck. I see they might have one of them available to utilize, but regardless, all those teams, they will have to move.
Oh, here we go. Na'Vi finding an opening onto Nova. King goes down. Not a good news for Noah, surely. But still 3 players that are up on Noah. He can make a lot of things happen with all
Tahu nggak
the
dia kalau
players
dia
live
split?
in the lobby.
Harusnya nggak tahu sih, guys.
Not just three.
Harusnya Navi nggak tahu kalau Nova split tadi.
He can probably clutch out the whole situation and carry his team on the back. But yeah, now Navi left with all 4 players to work with. I do want to see where they're going to be positioning themselves now. As I mentioned, they like to play on the edge of the zone, and they're probably going to be trying to do so. But Nova is the team right in the front.
Yeah, big chilling right there up to the north. But look at that, big fight. Silence.
Megang, wah. Megang tim mana? Sebenarnya nggak ada yang megang tim mana. Gue I do enjoy watching Navi. Mereka mainnya perangnya oke banget. Terus gue juga enjoy nonton. I'm gonna say Alpha 7. Tapi gue nggak ada yang kayak oke. Gue I'm cheering for this team. Gue sih.
Nova, they have it pinned down.
Man, Nova is pretty good in this tournament. I mean, like Order gila banget sih mainnya. Oke, NZS versus Navi. Ini kelebihan Navi di sini, guys. Di sini Navi menurut gue paling bagus ketika dia main pelan kayak gini.
I do like what Navi's trying to do here, but still the position. They will be held outside the zone. And here we go. Hamudi finds an opening on to take C, but also taking a lot of shots in return.
Oh, ada trade nih.
Not a good
Tumben banget
news
Navi.
for Galaxy for sure. Hamudi spotted out in the open. Does have the little Azia to work with as cover, but still Navi. They're being held outside the zone, and they will need to try and beat the timing on the wall of death.
Yeah, Navi, they might actually get sandwiched. And the reason Navi are here is because of those shots that Nova took upon them up there in the north. So it pressured them to rotate in this area. So
mereka masih belum circle.
Kita
lihat ya apakah mereka berhasil untuk selamat dari situ. Karena menurut gue itu kelebihan Navi di situ, guys. 3 big team West jago ya. Siapa aja tuh menurut kalian?
Dude, look at the left side.
Nova sih banget. Iya teguh. Final mereka nggak tahu deh. Mereka bisa jadi lebih jago, jauh lebih jago. Oops. Oke, Tixi.
Luckily, Hamudi was able to crawl back to safety in the nick of time. On the other hand, 628 as well, challenging fight against Nextria. There's just an absolute chaos on the left side of the map. Beautiful nade to confirm the kill, and still Meku able to connect all of his shots. Raouf. Those missed shots. A missed opportunity from Enigma Galaxy to try and stop Navi. But Navi, it just looks like they're easily able to breach through Enigma's defense.
Rata, ya kan? Ini Navi kuat banget kalau misalnya mereka main kayak gini, guys.
Utilizing that one player in the car strat, they had Matic kind of low in the health department, but in the vehicle.
The reason gue suka Navi tuh karena tadi itu fight yang kita lihat tuh kayak mereka nggak di luar circle, mereka mainnya outer, mereka fight-nya kayak terkelamaan, cuma mereka bisa menangin fight tersebut. Circle-nya. Siapapun yang menang antara Forever atau S2G ini bakal memiliki keuntungan yang menurut gua nggak paling besar sih. Cuma mereka dapat keuntungan yang lumayan besar. Itu Fenerbahce ya? Kayaknya Fenerbahce bagus nih match ini.
S2G quite close to 4 rivals, and here we go. The opening being found. 7 is the man who finds the opening. But Appy from the back trying his best to at least give some blind shots, trying his best to provide some cover fire.
Fenerbahce sih harusnya bagus di match ini, guys.
Rivals has to be a little gone case, but still the man advantage favoring 4 rivals big time.
Molly right there. Silas Pugh has been just on
nice
the ball here in game number 1. Let's see if they can continue to clutch it out. Playing a ring around the roasty in the smokes. 2v1 right here. Silas getting
nice straight.
The other. So
wah.
S2G.
For Rivals sih kuat banget nih.
Violence all game.
Nice, Fenerbahce udah mulai main ke atas. Dia dapetin space lebih dalam lagi dalam circle. Garanti next circle-nya harusnya bisa dapat vision dan informasi lebih banyak.
But again, circle shifting away on the right side. Navi still has a lot of pressure to deal with. They still need to make it inside the zone. They try to play the edge lines, but if they do play the edge lines, Noah's going to...
Siapa yang chicken tergantung sama next circle nih kemana nih. Kalau misal ke arah Damwon Gaming, ke arah Rumah Jamur, bisa Damwon Gaming yang menang. Kalau misalnya ke arah For Rivals kuat banget sih posisi mereka.
They're sending Jimmy in order in separate directions here. Try to hedge their bets on these
naik atas lagi, Spore Boy.
Team Secret above them. I like how they're spread.
Ini posisi Nova nggak bisa lihat dari posisi For Rivals, guys. For Rivals harus maju lagi sampai ada batas pohon gitu dia baru bisa lihat. Rata.
Oh, there we go.
5 elimination dari Order, gila. knock juga akhirnya dewanya. Nah, ini Navi ini bagus di sini juga, guys. Ini Navi pasti ntar dia mau coba nge-wipe tim. Dan mereka kuat banget kalau udah fight kayak gitu. Kayak tadi kita nonton dia nge-wipe NGX kan. Ini bisa nggak nih mereka nge-wipe lagi nih ke kiri nih karena Nova nih. Karena ketika mereka udah berhasil nge-wipe karena nggak usah nge-wipe deh, lu kasih barrier deh. Kalau lu ambil batu yang depannya para boy ini deh. Wah gila para boy sih. Udah dapat area sampai depannya batunya para boy tadi. Udah enak banget. Karena Novanya bakal kena sandwich sama Forever sama Navi juga.
This might just be it, Manova. But yeah, Navi, they should be able to get back to Tixi, hopefully, and yes, the res is being...
Abis itu juga sama Nova, apa tuh? Fight tadi.
Back up on his feet in no time.
Oke, Damwon posisi paling... Damwon bisa bagus nih. Fenerbahce, gue gak belum liat circle bawah, tadi siapa yang bawah ya. Wah, dapat aja Jimmy. Fenerbahce, wah. Dor, knock. Wih, Jimmy, gokil.
You see that? He challenges a fight against a bolt action like that, and still
gokil. Itu sniper loh lawan dia.
The nerves on this man, I don't even know what to say at this point, dude. Jimmy, absolutely insane. Gotta say, the confidence on this man is looking
absolutely insane.
Right now,
Ntar ya, apa tadi yang jatuh?
As I mentioned, if one man goes down, Noah will have to play this game all solo. Now it's all
7 tambah 2 kalau mereka mati di sini. 9 poin. Cuekin aja para boy. Knock 1 di sini. Gila, masih di fireback udah ada lo kayak gitu. 2 knock dari Damwon. Sayangnya lawannya Damwon Navi. Ya kalau bisa nahan, ntar gue jelasin juga kenapa Damwon bisa chicken di mas ini. Rumah jamur. Nice.
Sung goes down and Damwon Gaming now in such uncomfortable place. Fabian really far away from Sung.
Wow, okay, gonna be able to take up this guard tower for themselves. That's 2 times this
game
that Nova pressured
masih circle di atas.
Rotate around them instead of face checking them. That's 2 times right there. Nova are doing such a good job at keeping that pressure regardless how many players they have alive. And I'm mentioning that because Paraboy's still alive.
Masih hidup loh Paraboy.
In the north, snaking it right now.
Pelan.
Paraboy. He's just waiting for the right moment to strike. Infinity, one man falls down. Now it's all down left with that.
Stalwartnya agak gabut nih dia. Udah gak ada yang dikerjain soalnya bawahnya udah clear buat dia. Mungkin bisa Infin. Jadi dia bisa firein. Oh, Navi keluar duluan daripada Nova. Berarti dia tambah 4. Kalau dia chicken di sini 8 elimination 8 tambah 4 12 poin. 12 poin.
Looks like one of the squad
healing.
Four rivals tried to take him out. Immediately caught some bullets to the dome right there.
Oh, tambah 6 poin. 8 tambah 6. 14 poin kalau dia mati sekarang. Ini for rivals oh enggak, masih 3 orang. Satu. Dapat dong. Dapat dong. Gila, 9 tambah 6. 15 poin, guys. Wow.
So it looks like Fenerbahce, they were playing this edge towards the south for some time. They did split up. Now the Duke and
iya, bet banget ketemu Navi. Yang ketemunya tim yang kuat banget lagi kalau fight grand gitu ya, Damwon ya. Sayang banget sih. Coba kalau tadi ketemu, no disrespect, tapi kalau misalnya ketemu tim-tim yang kayak let's see God L lah, mungkin mereka bisa wipe lebih bagus sih. Maksudnya bisa menang perangnya lebih besar. No disrespect by the way. Nice, Fenerbahce main di sini deh.
And now all Stalwart Esports need to do is just try and breach in.
Ini seharusnya sih Fenerbahce. Karena posisi ST ini
Infinity, the only man left alive, is trying his best to hold his nerve with the gun. But again, he's being locked in the sights of 4 rivals. And it's Appy. A little peek from Infinity, and that's going to be it. The Ball of Death is just doing so much damage, yeah.
Waduh.
Kind of getting separated right there. They are going to lose one.
Sayang banget yang rumah tuh kuncian ya.
Let's see if they can defend the top of their.
Nih, kalau misalnya rumah masih hidup ya, ini SKRYY, Pika nih bakal keganggu buat naiknya.
Oh man, 4-on-3 situation, Fenerbahce.
4 lawan 3.
4 rivals being taken care of by Stalwart Esports. 4 rivals eliminated on 3rd place, and now Stalwart Esports.
3 lawan 3.
Fenerbahce able to
3 lawan 3.
trade, and now
Still hope. Semoga gue gak ngejing.
Stalwart Esports versus Fenerbahce. I do like the position of Fenerbahce. They do have a little bit of high ground to work with, but still, Stalwart Esports, they're making it hurt.
Yeah, and top has this boulder to work with too. So if Fenerbahce can
get
get a nice molly on top of that boulder, that molly will spread and pretty much take away that hard cover. The thing is, I'm not sure what type of utility they got working with right here.
Separation from Fenerbahce is huge. They have one man, Nox Bomb, all the way on the left side top. He's aware of that. Nox Bomb spawns
Nice.
top, takes shots, instantly taken out. Scry taken down quite low.
Action, dapat nih 2 nih, dapat 2 nih.
Right next to Scry, but still Scry doesn't really have the
dapat 1 lumayan.
Position compromise. Stalwart Esports actions well aware of what's going
Healing,
on.
tangkap nih sama si Action.
Now a snake in the grass and Action needs to watch out. Rebellion's position being
Nah, the chicken Stalwart.
The trades are just going on back and forth. Stalwart Esports, HP not supporting them, but Duke and Machine as well, the only man left alive from Fenerbahce. And we do know Duke and Machine is capable of clutches. He's the man who likes to get thrown, but this time it's not going to work out. Stalwart Esports are going to be your winner of the first game of the final day.
5 tambah 4, 9 tambah 3 adalah 12. 12 tambah 15, 27. 27 berarti dia naik. 27 tambah 77 itu berarti 100 sekian ya. Berarti dia top 5. Top 5 deh guys. Harusnya top 5 ya. Oke. Kita trace back dulu kenapa Vicky, kenapa Damwon tuh posisinya enak tuh.
Navi are just cleaning it up. No matter which team is in the front, Navi will clean you off, and they're able to make their presence inside the next zone just like that. They're just sweeping it to oblivious about.
Nih, posisinya Damwon di circle. Oke, kita lihat ada nggak sih dia buka circle yang agak lebaran. Udah bagus tadinya FB tapi masih kurang sama STG dah. STG emang kuat banget sih pakai. Oke, kita lihat di sini ya. Ini Damwon kenapa gue bilang bisa enak karena tadi gue kira circle ke bawah lagi sih. Enggak. Tetap enak karena circle-nya tuh dekat sama dia dan dia tuh cukup nahan Navi. Dan dia bisa farm karena dia punya sniper tower di atas. Misalnya ini logronya ya. Ini kan berarti ini Infin sama STE. STE bisa ngeliat ya. Harusnya bisa sedikit sih. Harusnya bisa. Ya kan ini kan DWG. Ini sniper towernya dia kan. Ya gini. Dan ini Navi di sini, ini Navi. Kebayang nggak kalian? Jadi mereka kalau bisa nge-host si Navi atau buang Navi ke kanan, buang Navinya ke arah Nova atau Forever, tapi nggak mungkin sih. Mereka udah, karena circle-nya lambat, mereka bisa farmingin dulu Infin sama STE-nya. Cuman sayangnya nggak bisa mereka farmingin karena mereka harus konten Navi. Kalau mereka tadi bisa rusak Navi ketika Novanya perang sama Navi, bagus tuh hasilnya harusnya. Gitu. Terus yang kedua di sini orang yang naik ke atas di kanannya airdrop ini bakal kelihatan dari rumah. Makanya dengan mereka dapat atas ini, mereka bisa lihat ke bawah. Mereka udah nge-wipe-in Forevals, maksudnya gangguin Forevals sampai mereka keculik-culikan. Mungkin itu salah satu alasan kenapa mereka juga nggak berani untuk lebih agresif lagi karena mereka nggak tahu Forevalsnya di mana sisa satunya kan. Kalau misalnya mereka tadi berhasil dapetin atasnya ini atau dapat batu atau dapat high ground yang atasnya ini dan bermain lebih agresif daripada main di bawah sini, menurut gua tadi siapapun yang lewat dari kanannya airdrop ini harusnya harusnya mati karena ada orang di rumah dan ada orang di atas gitu, jadi 90 derajat gitu. Siapapun yang lewat area merah ini harusnya mati. Tadi kan kebanyakan juga kayaknya pada lewat kanannya airdrop kan. yang rumahnya mati.
Taking care of by Stalwart Esports for
Tuh kayak
You got Fenerbahce
the wall of death for rivals, and it's and I'm pretty sure
gonna lose one in the
nih. Kayak ini nggak bisa hidup seharusnya nih kalau ada orang di rumah.
back line to Stalwart. Let's see if they can defend the.
Bahkan kayaknya Pika kelihatan dari rumah deh. Aduh. Bahkan Pika harusnya kelihatan dari rumah sih. Enggak sih. Iya karenanya airdrop sih. Udah paling bener karenanya airdrop sih. Jadi siapapun yang ke kanannya airdrop bakal mati sama orang rumah, sama orang atas juga. Kalau misalnya lu berani main lebih agresif lagi ke atas itu harusnya bisa lebih ini ya, lebih efektif cara main
Top of
mereka.
the hill, Stalwart Esports are going to be pushing up. You got top in action in the front lines. Keep an eye on these players.
oh man, 4-on-3 situation. Fenerbahce, 4 rivals.
Iya, naikin mobilnya aja ke atas ya. Naikin mobil ke atas, forting arah bawah, pick-pickin di situ. Menurut gue paling betul gitu sih Fenerbahce-nya.
Taken care of by Stalwart Esports.
Berarti yang paling bener mereka tuh harusnya nge-wipe dulu tadi.
Up this.
Mereka nge-wipe si Forevels dari awal.
Jimmy,
Nggak dari awal sih. Nah, dari sini nih. Dari
last man alive.
Looks like one of the
Dari
squad
sini.
mates from four rivals.
Dari sini
tried to
mereka
take
udah
him
mainin
out.
si-
Immediately caught some bullets to the
mainin
dome
si
right there.
Forevels.
Oh man, 5 teams to go here. 5 teams.
Mereka udah coba main sih. Memang kayaknya kurang banyak
5
orang yang
teams to
keluarin.
go. Fenerbahce and
Bisa kirim 3 di sini, bisa tahan 1 di sini. Maksudnya ini jaganya ke sini ke arah situ. Lu bisa kirim 3 orang untuk fightin Forevels di sini. Dimana peluang Forevels? Well, it's easier to say than done. Well played by
It's
Stalwart.
ultimately just gonna end up helping Nova even more, especially if Nova continues to do the game plan that they've been showing.
15 poin dari Nova guys. Woo!
Not a threat to your
Yeah.
first
Go
position.
kill.
They're just way too far away. Same for Fenerbahce.
Yeah.
As long as the points in top 4, not getting those points, like Nova are just going to be relaxing. Like yeah, it's in the bag. So
Are they going to
team-
relax, Max?
like that? I felt I could be pampered if I was at the hotel, but I'm not there.
Manny Petty?
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, you get Manny Petty and get a nice little drink in his hand, bathing in the sun, which Nova might be doing with a nice vacation of $1.5 million. But you're very right. And the thing is, right, we're talking about how these teams need to catch up some. I think you mentioned like hot dropping before. But realistically, if you're a team in 2nd through 5th place, you can't hot drop them. Because if you fall out early, that's it. That's your hopes gone. You have to hope other teams are able to punish them. And as we saw, I think it was King who went out early. Order didn't care. He still picked up 5 eliminations. When it was just down to 2 players out of Nova, they continued to be aggressive up against, I think it was like Navi fighting uphill and still winning fights.
Yeah.
Like, even when they're down people, they can still bring the eliminations.
You know what's the crazier part that just kind of came to my head? I wonder if Paraboy saw the performance yesterday from Order, and he's like, I want to be able to top that. I want people to know
wanna be
I'm
you, my
still
boy."
the bad man. Yep, that's exactly it. And I think it might be looking that way. I mean, we just saw what Paraboy was able to do.
You guys didn't see that on camera. They caught me just like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm too old for these memes. Maybe you'll show me one day. But that, yeah, I mean, Paraboy, we've always talked him as being the best player in the world, one of the most handsome players in the world. He wears the most stylish clothes, hangs out with the chillest dudes, goes to the best restaurants. The fact is, he is the star of the team.
Yeah.
And Order has always been in the shadow of him until this event.
Order is always the shadow of Paraboy. That's true.
PUBG Mobile has been, period. And it's
That's true, guys. That's true.
And Nova have created a legacy for themselves, or are still in the process of creating a legacy for themselves that no team can touch. Now, I know all of you from Indonesia are like, well, what about Bigatron, Jason? Bigatron never had to compete against the best Chinese teams in the world in those 2 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Down what happened in Malaysia, right? Because
Wow, bold banget dia ngomong ya.
how dominant Bigatron was, and everybody was like, okay, Bigatron.
Jadi orang yang paling kiri nih bilang kalau misalnya
Nova wasn't there, and that was always
jadi Nova nih lagi buat legacy di mana mereka tuh
it was like
buat legacy tentang Nova. Maksudnya legacy di mana Nova tuh is the best team in PUBG Mobile history. It's kayak pokoknya berhubungan dengan kayak gitu deh.
Well, speaking of champions,
Terus,
let's talk a little bit more about
Dia bilang kalau misalnya gimana tentang Bigatron. Terus dia bilang kayak Bigatron tuh nggak pernah compete sama tim paling bagus dari China. Wow, that is something. Bukan gue yang ngomong ya, caster tadi guys. Not the caster, I mean like analyst.
Where has the
Atau
Stalwart
panel.
and Infinity been that we saw in league stage? This Stalwart team, I mean, we saw Pika pull off like almost a 1v4 with the Car 98, if I'm not mistaken, in one of our Aaron Gun matches we had. Infinity, Newsy, and Gatoni.
Jangan lupa nanti ada giveaway merchandise dari Boom. Bisa di collect di Discord PUBGM-nya
For some reason, they can't hit that
Boom.
level of consistency
Yeah.
here.
Suruh
We
komen dah itu.
mentioned on the pre-show, right? This is not the Infinity and Stalwart that we expected coming into
So
the
it was on the
tournament.
show.
It was on the show.
Okay, I
so we
wasn't
did it both. But really, there's a big issue. But this game, at least in particular, and we're going to see the further we go into this recap, and we're going to see how elaborate their plan actually was, that they were just setting themselves up for success a lot more. Whereas I have the impression, if you look back, other than that chicken dinner they got on that first game of day one, after that, they're just going super aggressive, which is what we know from them. But their good macro that we saw in the East League has just not been that dominant. And we haven't seen them go for these really smart rotation, getting really strong positions, potentially waiting it out like they did this game.
Siapa yang beda tipis, Bas? Beda 5 poin ya, Bas?
Trying to full send it every single time, and it's just not the playstyle that I like. But this game here, them
Come on.
waiting it out at the south when all the teams were fighting north, that was what I expected to see from them 7, and it worked out at the very end.
I actually have a question for you, Matt. After seeing that performance, do you think this is in a way as Stalwart Esports kind of sparking up again? Do you think they're going to be challenging for that top 3 situation?
You know what? I would love to see that happen here, and in particular because I think that if you look back on the last few days, they would have just full sent it here. Here, they just took their time, and I think it's a big change of mentality looking back in these last few days. So I think so. I would hope so.
So that...
Go ahead. All right. Rock, paper, scissors, stone. I just want to give you some context to that, right? Stalwart around the 70 points before this match, and second place is around 120, like second through fifth, right?
Yeah.
There's a 50-point gap between those, and Stalwart was on this, like deep down the second page. There's a 50-point gap between first and second. Like the distance that Stalwart has to close is the same distance that the second through fifth place teams need to close up against Nova.
I mean, that just goes to show how dominating Nova has been. But going back to Stalwart, we mentioned the hot drops earlier. And this is
Double charger dulu, guys.
I mean, we've been asking for it for the longest time. We are gonna have one more set not coming up, but after this match in Miramar, do you think we'll finally end up seeing that magical hot drop that we'll be talking about, SCE and Alpha 7, considering where those teams are at, right?
No.
I don't think. I would love to see the DBS fight we saw during the screens, but
I mean, let me ask you. Let me counter your question with a question 7. Would you wager, let's just say, $50,000 on winning a hot drop?
With Alpha 7, with the way they've been performing?
No. Would you do it?
Oh, would I do it?
Would you drop in and hot drop a team where your potential to lose $50,000?
I am a guessing man. So yes.
Okay, I mean that's the thing, right? Is that if you hot drop and you lose, you could be losing $50,000 plus dollars, right? You could be losing a lot of money here, and that's not ideal. But we'll see. We obviously have some time here before we get into our second match of the day, so we're gonna head to a short break while we get things ready for you guys at home, and we'll see you in just a few.
Jam 23.05 ya guys ya. Kelar ya guys ya. accounts connected. Connect sama apa sih YouTube ya? Lama banget breaknya.
I saw the first light, the first steps. Now I see much more. I capture Earth in all its beauty. I see action. I see drama. And I see it in the finest detail. Moments of inspiration. And the first steps. I am the 1+9.
Nah, dipin
All right,
dong.
we are back now, and we had Stalwart Esports start off the day strong, replicating their performance from day one of the event, but they still have 20+ points to catch up on if they want to get into the second place position. But then again, you have the likes of Na'Vi here trying to defend that title with their $600,000, bumping themselves up 450,000 from the match before.
I'll say you got that wrong. Yeah.
But we, oh, okay, all right, Max. But as we're saying, right, we're talking about can teams realistically catch Nova? If we look at the point difference, we would say it is possible, but the difference is it's Nova, and they've been playing really well.
Yeah.
But realistically, we could see Stalwart at the end of the day getting into top 3. There is a very good chance if they can put on another chicken dinner like that, they're going to be in top 5.
I can see it happening. That's the main reason why I was asking that earlier, because I was trying
Berapa
to
game sorry? 6
I
game.
can totally see that happening, considering that this is a team that showed us some amazing performance on the first day, literally on the first game. I would love to see that kind of style that they were able to show us on that first match. And if I'm not mistaken, you were wondering what has gone wrong with the team. You said the team's pretty much playing the exact same. It's just some micro things that haven't worked their way.
Especially their macro, I would say in particular, that needs to be worked upon. But you know what? The start of the day was a chicken dinner. That's great. I'm going to spoil my team to watch. It is going to be Stalwart, because when we look back on the East League, they were a team that had...
Powerboy! Akhirnya muncul lagi mukanya setelah order terus menggendong-gendong tim ya.
Finishes. This is what I need to see from them now if they want to hopefully race for that third place and get themselves hopefully $330,000 in that position. So we'll see, but at the end, still going to be looking back on that game. Paraboy, even though he was solo versus 4 rivals versus Na'Vi, just stopped everyone. I really liked actually what Dave mentioned in that game. We had 2 situations where Nova basically just pushed Na'Vi to rotate around from them, even though they did not have the man advantage. That's how scary this team actually are. They do not have the advantage of terrain. They are playing low ground. They do not have the man advantage, and yet you are not ready to take a fight against them because they're Nova.
And something that Nova was able to showcase us there in that last game is that they're willing to be aggressive when teams expect them to be defensive. I think it was Dave that was able to mention it. They were taking fights even though they didn't have the high ground, even though they were at a disadvantage. And I think we see that over and over again. I mean, going back to the first day when I saw, I think it was Mafioso trying to shoot at some of the Nova players, the man just stopped with no cover, turned around and started shooting at him. So that's how confident these players are on their skills. And I think that's another thing that has caught a lot of the other teams by surprise, just expecting them to be defensive and then just getting surprised and having to fall back.
Well, you guys were talking about what Mustache.
Na'Vi.
I'm going to talk about what Necro mentioned. And if I remember,
Menurut kalian siapa guys pemain terbaik dari Na'Vi? Menurut gua,
handsome human beings in
kalau menurut gua sendiri ya, menurut gua TXC is one of the best.
Yeah, I believe
Not only in Na'Vi,
no, but it's actually maybe
but in
talk
this
about our
whole
teams
tournament,
watch here. And I'll start things off. I know Max, you already said
Terus
Stalwart.
Frozen
Lock
dari
that in for you. For me,
dari apa tuh?
technically it's
LR?
4 teams, but
Apa
I'll give
sih
you one.
singkatannya?
It's Na'Vi.
Itu juga jago
If
banget
they
sih.
want to be able to chase that title, they have to
Ini kita ngomong mikro aja. Terus dari gimana cara mereka ngambil pemain itu ngambil positioning individu mereka tuh bagus.
But Na'Vi in particular, like, you got to continue to perform. They got 8 eliminations. Not for any team that's like, oh wow, that's really good. You guys put on a great match. The problem is Nova did an even better match. They survived even longer. They have to improve even further than they just did.
I mean, at some point, I feel like Na'Vi is going to take notes of that, and they're going to be like, okay, we just got to fight for second place. We're not at that point yet, but it will happen at some point. If Nova continues to showcase the performances that they're currently showcasing, my team to watch is going to actually be Enigma Galaxy. This is a team that ended up getting 0 elims in the last one. Navi was able to outperform them, and I feel like if they want to have a chance to even get between those second and third places, they need to start performing. They need to start getting those elims.
Well, I got
Navi,
a thing for
okay.
you. Not to Vincere, which is obviously the full name of Navi, is like born to win, not born to second place. Vanessa, go ahead. Who's your prediction? Who's your team to watch?
Enigma Galaxy.
Okay, well there we go. I'm sorry, I was too busy in my head. Like, what is
Nima, Galaxy,
Navi.
Navi.
I thought I said their name.
Galaxy
wrong for a
is-
second. I was like, hold on.
But I'm glad you did say Enigma Galaxy as well. Like this team, you remember on day one they had only 20 eliminations. Like
Enigma
they-
Galaxy is something else nggak sih, guys?
team out there, and we saw them struggle with that. In the
Okay,
past.
Enigma Galaxy itu kayak-
but they have improved here in the finals. But again, they have to improve even more, and that's got to be so frustrating for some teams who are already playing at such a high
Unexpected
level. to
aja
have to
sih.
play even better with
Unexpected.
Only 5 matches remaining. It's gonna be tough, but you know what? They're gonna have to make it happen if they want to beat the world. And speaking of best, we got our best commentators in the world here: Necro and Mustache Dave.
A shout out to the boys on the desk. 5 more games to go. $1.5 million first place prize. 600K second place, 300K.
Ini kayaknya nih average point waktu mereka main di PMGC West East deh. Nova Esports.
Miramar, I gotta ask you, man. We're
Hendra. Hendra Nova Esports banget nih.
At the end of the tournament, do we expect any change-ups here on this game in particular?
Okay, before answering your question, I gotta say, Jason is one of the most handsome dude over here. Okay, he's looking pretty good. He's looking clean, man. Already saw that, you know, on the desk. He's looking pretty.
Gila,
clean.
2,8 doang,
now
Fenerbahce.
Getting back to your question, dude. Any switch-ups? I don't exactly know. I just want the teams in the bottoms to actually try and hunt down teams in the front, okay? The teams try and hunt down teams all the way on top. Try and hunt down Nova. Try and hunt down Navi. Try and hunt down Nextruya, you know? That would be one of the most, like, interesting things that I personally want to watch.
I don't know, hunt them down. We heard from the analysts right there that even when Nova are down to just a solo or a duo, teams are still respecting them. They are staying away from them. Like, that's just the dominance that
Yes.
Nova have been showcasing here so far in this tournament. But
Oh, dia mau
getting
force
into this
ke
match,
Lazar.
we can see those average points in Miramar. Alpha
Bagus buat
7.
Nova nih.
Day 1, Alpha 7 was my squad to cheer for. I mean, I gotta cheer for that team representing Brazil. Let's see though, can this be the match that they really clean up here and get a couple elim points to set them on the right track here today?
Oh, dude. Set him on the right track. Couple more elim points. Yeah, that's what all these teams want. Especially teams that are in the top 5, without a doubt. They want to just go. They want to just get those elim points. They want to get those placement points as well. But unfortunately, in that previous game, Enigma Galaxy got taken out quite early. Actually, they were the first team to get taken out. So that means this Miramar game is going to be meaning quite a lot for Enigma Galaxy particularly.
And talk about getting taken out. We saw last game a couple of these players taking out each other with the PMGC 2021 Prestige Scar L game skin. I saw those laser effects go like pew, pew, pew all over the screen. It was beautiful. So if the pros are using it, you should use it to go in-game and unlock the PMGC Premium Crate.
Oh, dude. I like that. It looks kind of cool as well, right?
Aduh, kok
Especially when you're
gila
like,
playernya.
spectating the
Siapa
players.
kayak ratusan kali
It's
ini?
kind of cool. Personally, want that skin.
Siapa nih Teguh?
I'm trying my best to get it, man.
Fenerbahce
now-
ini hari-hari ya, selalunya seperang
Fenerbahce over
sama
here.
Six
As
to
I
eight.
mentioned, I really want Fenerbahce to go and try and play this ball sport. 6-8 is the team in the front. Pretty close.
Wah.
Noxbomb got taken
Hari
out.
kena.
Fenerbahce. Again, not a good news for them. On 14th place, Godlike right underneath them. And then you have Furious Gaming. Now, we also got to talk about Godlike, man. First game, not that great of an outing. The next game of Miramar, they need to fight for the pride.
Well, talk about fighting for it. We do see one of their squad mates on that hill right there, possibly taking some shots.
Oh, mungkin udah rotate kan?
Looking to
Hikmah?
get at least
Okay,
an
global.
limb point here, but they need to be cautious. You know, they are sliding down the overall leaderboards, and when we're talking about Godlike in particular, like if you real quick,
No?
talk about the bait right there. And
Wow.
Noxbomb, one of the key players. in my
Gokil,
opinion,
gokil,
from
gokil.
Fenerbahce. Always on the ball. It's between Noxbomb and the Duke and Machine.
Damwon
Those
udah
work
rotate.
together
Gokil
as a
orang PKD
unit.
ini.
You can tell that their synergy is on point. So if you are Fenerbahce and you're looking to climb up, losing Noxbomb early,
Phase 1,
that's gonna
helm
set you
2,
back a
verset
couple
1,
pegs.
beda
But
10.
to get back to your
Udah
point, I
rotate.
wanted to ask you this actually. Like, you're Godlike. What do you think the plan is here today? Like, best outcome, what do you think is the plan from that squad?
Honestly, Godlike needs to realize there's nothing to lose. At this point, they're just playing to get top 10. If I'm
Oi, berisik
Godlike, I
banget,
want to
Cuk.
be in top 10, no matter what, in the end of the day. Just to at
Nih,
least
saya screen ya.
be up there, in the top 10. And that's going to be quite huge for India as a region as well. Even if they're top 10, that's quite huge in my opinion. Being in the top 10,
Ada nggak?
it still means being in the top 10 amongst one of the best teams in the world. 16 teams in the world. I mean, that's quite huge, right? And I feel
Saya
like
stream di
the fact
channel
they
Boom
have
ya.
so many odds. They had so many odds coming inside the grand finals. They just got
Nonton
thrown
nggak kamu
into
nih?
it.
Nonton dulu nih biar kamu.
So I mean, hey, being in the top 10 against
Belajar
all the
dulu
odds,
kan.
that's gonna be
Ya nggak, Dek?
quite a lot. So if I'm Godlike, I'm just gonna try to go for like a little bit of safer plays and either like
Bisa nggak kamu
try to
nonton?
get involved in a lot of third parties.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, of course you want top 10.
Siapa jagoan
but
kamu?
How do you do it, right? How do you, if you're Godlike, how do you do it? And for me, I have to compare
Navi gak kamu?
to what they have.
Ah, Mobile Legends atau
And
PUBG-nya?
I notice that they tend to look for those top center positions, right? And they scout them out
Adalah.
towards the mid to late game, and they always lose one or two on
Ngeri ya kamu
the
jadi.
scouting rotation. So
Kamu
when
jadi
I have to
analis.
come up with a quick answer on the top of my head.
Analis.
I'm the coach. I
Gimana
think
nih?
How they do it?
Pak analis.
Just play
Gimana
the
nih?
edge. Play the edge. Nice and slow. Kind of to your point. I
Cukup
think
baik. Siapa yang cukup baik itu
for
rotasinya?
points, and if there is a
Hah?
team
For level?
getting in your way of the edge track, then
Ini juara Malai loh itu.
right?
Kamu
But
jangan macam-macam ya.
the key detail right there is hopefully if you do it that way, you have your team alive. You compare it to losing one from scouting, right? Because they need everybody alive. If they want to
Ini ada yang nanya
in
siapa yang kena tusuk kali ini.
every single
Siapa tuh? Kira-kira siapa?
multiple times where they would get in a team fight and that's not the
FG,
case.
FG.
FG ya?
That's my take.
Kenapa FG? Kenapa
FG
coach?
ini apa panjangannya?
Feel free to
Gak tahu.
Hah?
Gak tahu panjangannya apa.
That's a good take, without a doubt. But
Kenapa coach? Kira-kira coach? Ini FG bisa tusun coach?
Kalau saya lihat kan paling bawah itu ya.
Oh, karena paling bawah deh ya. Oh, jadi paling bawah tuh harus susun terus ya.
Iya.
Kurang ajar juga kamu.
Bercanda ya guys ya yang nonton ya. Bercanda.
Coach ini for rival sih kira-kira sek berapa nih coach pertandingan ini coach?
Sek 4 kalau yang saya lihat.
Oh, karena dia depannya 4 gitu.
Udah bagus masih.
Oh, masih bagus. Saya kira kira-kira depannya ada angka 4.
Sabar lihat dalam mobil tuh.
Sabar ya. Rapi deh ya.
They're in water treatment with a 2-2 split, right? And if a team of 4 pushes one of your duos,
Siapa nih kira-kira juara coach?
have you shown us that you can defend? That's my question. So like,
Dulu ada ya Navi sih mungkin.
Navi juara kah? Gila, ngeri banget kamu bro.
just sending out a scout looking for an
Ada
offensive position.
Satu match 2
Navi lagi.
40 elimination.
Nova salah ini kayak Nova kan. Navi juara 2-nya Nova. Suara tim ini kecil benar ya suara sini.
Wah, coach.
Okay. Interesting stuff there.
Coach,
Interesting stuff.
gimana coach? Dia tadi pemain Navi bilang
See,
kalau ada beberapa tim yang nggak layak main di
points,
PMGC
you know,
coach.
they're climbing up. I mean, what's your take on that?
Nggak tahu, dia nggak bilang. Dia bilang kayak ada beberapa tim yang nggak tahu mereka mau ngapain dalam game ini, dalam turnamen ini. Tiba-tiba bermain pemain Navi. Pemain Navi coach.
183 points. If you want to get the top place, you still have a huge climbing to do. You have
Gimana pendapatnya coach? Menurut coach setuju nggak?
Nggak bisa deh, nggak setuju sih.
Nggak setuju kamu kan? Kenapa tuh?
Jangan ditanya kenapa bro.
Lah harus ada alasan. Ada alasannya dong. Mana coach?
Alasannya
I like where you're going with this. If you're not
ya
first, you're last. And
orang bagus
that's
aja
the
deh
mentality
ngomong
right
gitu.
here,
Sama
and
juga merendahkan.
Nggak etis ya, nggak etis ya.
first and second is pretty steep.
Kurang etis lah ya, kurang etis ya.
They're not showing any signs of slowing down.
Bener-bener kamu nih bro.
100% every single game.
Sekalian.
Pantas nih
They
udah
are
job
showing
terus.
up. So
Kemana nih
Dan
sekalian?
gitu ya,
that championship mentality.
Kemana nih coach? Sekalian coach.
We'll see how it
Hah?
unfolds.
Kemana sekalian
ini?
as all these
Kita balik
players
ke
make
daerah
decide where the next circle
Mana nih?
goes. Does center up a little more, so not too
Water treatment.
much
Oke.
For a lot of these teams who already acquired some center locations.
Clutch got
Waduh, sabun dia ya guys ya.
the house.
Nova udah pasti juara belum bang?
Not on his eyes, but yeah. Next
Belum pasti.
Clutch God. Oh my god. He's lucky that the headshot did not connect. If it did, Clutch God would have been knocked out in the kill
Ini
shot.
di Super Weekend-nya juga kan ya kayak ini nih.
Ini udah final kamu nih. Udah final. Ah, lah coach kamu nih pelatih mana kamu nih? Kamu pelatih. Waduh kena BD. Kawan. Waduh.
Yeah, talk about fading away.
Gak jadi mati dong dia.
Go for a really risky scout.
Guys, jangan lupa ntar ada giveaway guys.
Was able to walk away with their life, but look at this stalwart looking to make a push over here next Ria.
Oh, two of the top teams on the leaderboards, and this
Yes,
is going to be
dibantu share guys. Jangan lupa nanti ada giveaway nih guys ini.
Ada info PMGC kah?
Was not able to deal enough damage on the action though. Back into safety. Next Ria. Wrong. The cavalry has arrived for them. Salvo Esports, only 2 players in the front. I do see top
4 lawan 2.
provide a little bit of backup fire. Also play for that informational play.
Yeah, Stalwart definitely on the hot cusp of their last game, right? So they're feeling good. Top with that off angle, trying to make sure to catch any type of sight line.
STE nih, kenapa STE bang? Ada apa dengan STE bang?
Just a smidge of sight
Iya bang, kenapa bang? Kenapa bang Teguh nih STE bang?
Really buying top.
Kurang seneng itu saya lihat muka ya.
Trying to take this building for themselves.
Oh dia STE ini kah yang menang fight ini kah? Ini tim peringkat 3 sama tim peringkat 6 nih. STE sih ini harusnya.
Two teams inside the I'm pretty sure as time passes by, they're going to keep getting
Stay action. Ini jago sini.
Look at this, Top is taking shots.
Jago ya action ya.
Yeah, Frozen popping up the door, trying to take some shots on Action, but Action with the M249 in the front lines. Looks like Frozen is going to toss his smoke, throw a little confusion out there. But I was pointing out, Top is taking a lot of shots from their off angle, applying that pressure and keeping next Ria from really grouping up.
Wah, kena knock dia.
UMP.
Wah, di end.
Oh no.
Oh, not good. Next Ria opening the fray. Beautiful peek, beautiful timing from Kudor right there. And now Stalwart Esports will need to try and bounce back from this. 2 players in the front, Top all the way in the back. Clearly, Stalwart Esports lacking huge man-to-man number.
Smoke itu, smoke.
These 2 players get pushed on by all these 4 players. It's going to be quite tough to defend. But still, the M249 on the Action might just make a lot of plays happen. But I do like what Action's doing here. He's not just tunnel visioning on one single
Ngapain
spot.
ya dia
He's
smoke
also
gitu?
to provide a little bit of visual cover as well. But Stalwart Esports taking things a little safe. Scry in the front.
Yeah, Action looking to throw some smokes, looking to buy some time. I really want to see Top group up and try to make this push into the compound to support their teammates. But on the outskirts, God, like you were talking about them, they're trying to third party this.
Good luck ya Dat.
Biasa pin ini karena biar bikin nge-frame apinya.
Oh biar nge-frame. Oh
Dan bisa kabur.
bisa kabur karena nge-frame.
Waduh.
Circle-nya gak ke WT. Gimana nih coach? Kok salah nebaknya coach?
Namanya manusia ya kan?
Oh itu ya tempatnya salah ya manusia ya.
Getting a lot of insane timings on Stalwart Esports.
Nice.
Kill's been confirmed, and now Stalwart Esports gonna hurt.
Yeah, I really like that screen action. They tried to pull back towards Top, and Top was providing a really
Waduh,
nice,
Tusun.
amount of cover fire.
Gimana nih coach? Kayaknya Tusun nih Stalwart Esports.
But the thing is, they just got caught in the tail end. Now Top retreating out here.
Berapa hari lagi nih?
Ini ada terakhir. Sisa 5 game.
And play for those replacement points. But that right there goes to show me that team communication is flowing on the side of Stalwart. And although the
Ente dan STE kalah setup, kalah posisi sih.
good play at the end of the day.
Kalau posisi mereka guys.
It seems like they're able to make it back to safety. So 4 players still alive. Looking pretty good for now. Neo though, a huge separation between the squads, and I personally don't like it.
What? Hampir meledak.
Navi in the front, godlike, trying to just scare him away from that compound. Top all by himself in this compound, and Navi are looking to crash onto it.
So many buildings in this area, and it just happens that Navi gonna be rolling.
Knock dong dia, lompat.
Top! Oh, applying that pressure. Was able to confirm one. Can't Top clutch this out. M4 down to 24 bullets. Looking for that.
Kenapa dia ngebug ah?
Anticipating the push from all
STE kalah aim sama tim West. Enggak kalah posisi. Wow gila. Mana nih? Kagak lah tuh.
Huge mistake from Navi.
Ya.
Jumps out of a moving vehicle, gets knocked out. Meku as well tries
Ah, dari kalah posisi guys, ST. Mana coach ST yang terus nih coach. Waduh.
knocked out. The rest should be back upon Meku. Beautiful smoke to provide that cover.
Seluruh miskin jangan gitu ya,
Nova
ST.
as well. The family
Stack 3.
good spot inside the zone. They can try and hold it off.
Tadi kamu megang chicken for rifles ya coach?
Shift away from them.
Yang megang chicken.
Kamu megang.
It shouldn't
Oh enggak, for rifles keempat ya coach.
Enggak, forever stack 4 sih.
Masih keempat.
Masuk 4 ini.
Pak besar lah dia ya. Chickennya siapa coach? Siapa? Nova chicken. Oke.
Holds action in the air.
Ut. Gila. Dari mana para boy dapat kill itu?
If you would have connected that headshot, would have been so nice to witness.
But at the same time, they don't want to give away that intel that they're playing the edge, right? Because obviously in Xavier, they're not aware that A7 are up there on that hilltop. So I definitely get why they.
Circle-nya harusnya ke arah S2G.
Information is everything here.
S2G atau Nova.
Yeah, A7 clearly do have a
Kan?
top of DX Xavier.
Coach bisa chicken ikut Nova coach.
Position away. Teams in the front. Like Dominant Gaming, they're definitely going to be taking a little shots. And yes, A7, they're finally on a move. They do realize the circle shifts away, so they will need to try and make their mark inside the next circle.
See, in that last play to hold the shot, it pays off even more right here because they're able to rotate around without Xavier knowing for a fact that they're going to be pulling from that area. And yes, at the end, Xavier they did spot out the vehicles, but that's
Giveaway apa tuh coach?
played in the advantage of
Spesial buat yang nonton.
Oke.
Crashing on the compound of S2G. S2G,
Yeah.
you have a little threat, but this time the threat being neutralized and S2G easily able to take care of them. Fenerbahce quite close to DX Xavier. Fenerbahce's compound as well as getting chased on. The defense is trying to get breached through, but still the Xavier are crumbling down. Duke and Machine in the front. One man in the back for DX Xavier. He's a little too separated away, but he still doesn't really have a lot of HP to work with. Lamborghini in the front, trying his best.
Si satu di sini Fenerbahce Gaming.
And instantly will confirm. But Duke and Machine, as always, he's the only man who's left alive for really late.
Dokun Machine.
Yeah, as long as Duke and Machine doesn't catch a grenade to the face here, they might be able to defend.
Ya, nggak kena.
Up here. Lamborghini also needs to make sure though that their back
Wih.
sight lines aren't going to be exposed because I see Enigma Galaxy right behind them, but
Wih.
was spotted.
Udah meledak, Cuk.
Right there.
Meledakin lagi sama dia.
Four rivals as well, taking a
Panik,
dig on
panik,
Nova.
Panik ya coach ya. Harusnya nggak boleh kayak gitu kan coach.
Okay.
Wah Navi, Nova.
Good
Waduh.
on the overall rank.
FG tadi coach yang coach bilang kan? FG bukan FB.
2 points
Oh,
more.
itu.
They're looking really good. They're big time chilling. Godlike out in the open. Don't like the position that Godlike has. Down to only
Secret versus Godlike.
Clutch God and Jonathan.
They're in the open.
Menang siapa nih coach? Godlike atau
Fortunate for
Yeah,
them, no
Secret.
one behind.
Bukan lari Godlike ya?
Clear sight lines to the north.
Ini siapa nih? Navi versus Infinite siapa menang coach?
So they really have some
Infinity.
time to
Infinite
work
ya?
right now and come up with some type of game plan on how to push down onto Team Secret. So
Siapa nih guys? Yang bakal menang nih guys? Navi Infin?
You have that working, but still, I
Udah
mean,
motor cuk.
we've been watching Godlike, and these kind of moments, they have been choking quite a lot. But hopefully, they're able to figure out a game plan.
Wih.
Gaming now.
Seru ini.
Pull up.
A7 not happy that Dominant Gaming has this compound, and Dominant Gaming as well trying their best to hold on this defense. Revo
Waduh.
could have got taken out there.
A7 win this. They have to. A7 are so good up close and personal. Oh no,
Oh,
especially
no.
when Fabian's gonna be burning alive. And here comes Mafioso. And then it's
Apa 7 sih memang kuat banget sih close range-nya guys.
Rio flush out this Damo
Kuat parah.
story.
Well, that's going to be pressing Dominant down even a little bit more
Navi sih.
added pressure.
Ini tunggu kenapa ditarik lagi ke sana? Tunggu.
A7, all 4 players
Apa?
found themselves at least a safe spot for now.
Udah
I wouldn't
ketahuan
call it safe
Teguh
because
tadi
they
kamu
do
ngetik
have
Navi.
another team right
Udah
there.
ketahuan
So Dominant
ngetik
Gaming-
Navi.
Juni,
Oh, Teguh.
he's trying to do is
Menang Navi.
a little safe,
Tadi Invin.
not moving around, not really giving his
Kita lihat ya Teguh ya siapa yang menang tadi di sana fight ya.
will still
Tapi Infinnya cabut tuh deh.
brutal problem.
Circle-nya update 4-3. Wih, knock satu pak.
Here we
Lumayan
go.
pak.
Dominant find an opening on the A7. The confirmation there instantly. Sung is the man.
Woi.
The other one-
Kok kalah Alpha 7 ya?
They're sweating right now. Two players being taken out just like that. Down one gaming, not looking that great. Shooting from the back, strikes in. Finally, the silence breaks.
Ya rata Pak, Alpha 7-nya Pak. Oh belum.
Carrillo, the only man left alive. He's trying
Waduh.
gaming defense is a little too
Hampir saja di kelas dia guys ya. Masih hidup Navi.
A little too many fights at the same time right there. They
Sisa
had
satu
a
mobilnya.
duo on that first
Wih,
story.
Infinity sisa satu kah?
Trying to flush out the
Enggak kan?
dominant solo
Infinity sisa
story,
3.
and that amount of time was able to really pay off in Damon's favor in the opposite.
Nabi sih lawan Infin.
They just popped
Oke.
around the corner, hip fired the UMP, and well, you saw right there the tides have turned. And on that note, Damwon, they finished that fight just in time as well, because the next zone did shift, and it is completely opposite from where they currently are. So they have some time to regroup, met up, and use those vehicles that Alpha 7 used to push them to reposition.
Team Secret. They're moving over here.
Enak nih posisinya Secret nih.
So many teams, including Enigma Galaxy, right at the
Dapat
back.
poin banyak deh elimination-nya.
This is their chance to try and rack up a lot of kills, but Furious Gaming, team in the front.
Nih susah bawa Nova sih.
Hasn't really been doing that great, but here comes a third party getting shot at the
Oh
back.
tergantung guys. Kalau misalnya FG ini perang sama Nova, perang sama Nova, perang sama Four Rivals terus
Wall getting charged on.
nice one.
Team Secret.
Terus si Nova-nya datang bantu bunuh si Four Rivals, enak nih.
Rosa and a shack right there. And
Tergantung ntar mereka perang atau enggak nih.
2-2 split. This is pretty much their bread and butter, especially here on Miramar.
Wih.
So,
Aduh, dengar darahnya Pak.
them as everybody honestly just trying to reposition in this new circle.
Diganggu Navi ya. Waduh, open. Ih.
Huge angle, huge sight lines from Scream, but Scream is getting pressured
Oh
from
no.
Navi.
Oh dear, it's just
Sabun ya?
all the angles at this point are being
Kurang.
by so many other teams.
Kurang banget tadi ya.
Third parties after third parties. Were all to happen, this was expected, but Nova, quite a lot of damage being dealt onto themselves, and Nova going to be taking a little bit of back foot, taking a little chill pill behind that ridge. Here we go, Four Rivals strikes in, they find a knockout. Furious Gaming going to be a little unhappy after that. Big Malo still has the high ground.
Wah, gimana FG ini mainnya? Nggak komit dia. Wah, meledak dia. Lumayan dapet.
Yeah, if I'm Furious right there, they spent so
Nah,
much time
sendiri-sendiri mainnya Pak FG Pak.
to really
Udah tabrak aja lah.
down onto Four
Capek
Rivals.
main.
I think you just commit to making that push.
Astaga.
Close range battle compared to trying to rotate around them, and we saw right there, Furious, they just got blown to pieces. They weren't even able to use their weapon, and now here comes Nova trying to push right into that same spot. Four Rivals were holding down and defending from Furious.
Order masih kuat di sini.
6-8 are in luck. They also have one of the best compounds inside the circle. If they play this
Belum satu lagi ya. Oh, waduh gimana coach? Salah prediksinya coach. Aduh.
Lamborghini making it hurt onto H2G. Man falls down in H2G now. Down to a 3-man squad. Team Secret getting shot in the back by Nova.
Mati.
Big teams, and here we go. Lamborghini being spotted. As you said, Nate Parade comes in.
Nah kamu.
Lamborghini makes this push happen. Has the M249 as well. A lot of bullets to work in his.
Wah, bunuh diri ya Pak. Balik.
Oh, unfortunate. Unfortunate for Lamborghini with the M249 out there. And you were just talking about the Infinity down here in the south. They did have 4 up.
Ini kalau Nova.
But over here, Secret, they
Frek.
have been defending their shack for some time. Can they do it? Up against Paraboy, tossing a molly.
Seriusan nih, masih bertahan.
Elim points on Paraboy. M4, it is locked, it is loaded, it is ready to go. Paraboy up close and personal. You gotta watch out for him. He's gonna go for that spray down. He's gonna get traded on.
Order.
Behind him with the support, with the
Order. Apakah dia bisa sama kelas ini? Revive dulu.
But Order as well is taking things a little cautiously. He does know that's the only man left alive for Team Secret.
Wow! Jumper
Is able to keep the defense alive.
7 Elim points.
Itu kamu yang ngajarin kemarin ya coach?
We can see them in third position. They are
4 lawan 1 guys. Lumayan giveaway chicken kata ST.
out there against D
Mengclutch.
Xavier Lamborghini.
Juara dunia.
Meanwhile, all that chaos in the north, guess who's up?
Tapi gimana
2-8.
permainan Nova sejauh ini coach?
With 4 up here
Ya,
late
sejauh
game.
ini cukup baik.
Cukup baik ya.
All the way on the left and the rest
Dia
of the players on the right.
mengalahkan
Just moving on the edge lines.
6
I don't know if I like this spread
Posisi
though.
6.
Posisi 6.
Yang mana deh?
Position,
Posisi 6 ya, posisi 6. 6 tambah 6 poin. Berarti 10 poin coach dia coach.
but still, this
6
might
itu
just
4
work out
poin
if
guys.
Yang plays
Iya, dapat 6 kill kan?
and keeps his position.
10 jadi.
Lamborghini gets spotted. He should be taking care
Lumayan,
of him.
dapat
Yes,
1.
Yang takes care of him, but that means his position
7,
now has been
10.
revealed.
Mentok
So the
10
player
nih.
next to
Kalau
Gio,
STI bisa
Hamdan
bunuh
on
semua.
Here we go. 6-8 moving quite close to infinity.
Oh, ini udah
They
STI.
have no clue that Nuzi is right in the front.
Dapat 1 lagi. Ini dapat nih Nuzi.
There we go. That's quite an instrumental play.
Dapat lagi sama STE-nya. Sisa 1. Kelasnya nih coach, kelasnya coach.
No.
No ya?
Sulit buat main.
Sulit. Jadi bunuh diri aja dia harusnya coach ya.
Lebih baik jangan sih.
Jangan ya. Berusaha berarti.
Kita kan nggak tahu.
Position being compromised, sides being locked onto him. 7 still trying his best to deal a lot of damage. Yu Yang taken down quite low, but the rest 2 players are looking pretty healthy. Yu Yang staying in the back. Decides not to heal this time, but 6-8. 33.
Woi, 10 elimination plus 15, 25 poin.
And just like that,
Boleh.
6-8 winners in the second game.
Kita kasih tepuk tangan dulu guys.
Tepuk tangan dulu, tepuk tangan.
Aja.
Kok mirip kamu bro yang paling kiri tadi bro?
Itu kakak saya kata.
Oh kakak kamu. Oke.
Ya,
Jangan lupa. Apa tuh?
anak kalian kita yang lagi nonton ya guys. Ya.
Oh, oke. Guys, jangan lupa ntar ada giveaway guys, ada giveaway. Ada giveaway merchandise dari Boom.
In my opinion, able to really put that wrench in the plan of Team Secret, who
Makanya dibantu share-share-nya guys.
Oh,
really good this match, and hey, they still did a good job, but you cannot discount if Nova have 1 player alive, if they have 2 players alive, it's a full squad. Order alone is a team to themselves here. So
Bro, kita tadi dulu bro, mending bro. Login bro.
Let's hear what the panel has to say about that game.
Main PB aja.
Main PB gimana? Saya lagi streaming. TDM anjir. Stres kamu nih.
Come up with next here, but 6-8. Maybe they're tired of seeing their Chinese brethren team getting victories for themselves or doing well. They want to get some limelight on themselves.
Jangan lupa ya guys ya, masuk ke server Discord PUBGM guys, ntar ada giveaway guys. Ambil TDM dulu ya kan.
Thousands of dollars in their pocket. But not a bad showing here.
Yeah,
Kamu ngomong TDM kedengeran di streaming.
What was it? Third
Kedengeran lah.
Fragger in lobby at the start of the day, so it's actually really impressive. They've been pretty silent, but we got the same issue.
Ayo,
We had,
Cuk.
for example, was next React, where it was
login
only
dia.
Daoshi really doing a lot of the heavy lifting for the team. Here, actually going for a strong position that typically no
10 poin, stabil banget Nova.
towards Hacienda del Patron. Execution really well, waited for the late game and just started pushing out when there was just less numbers.
10 poin kan Nova? Ya 10 poin.
That we saw it's second place, third place, and fourth place teams that were all out before top 10.
Yang ngejar dia itu
That weren't really in contention before.
and Arch pada 4.
We saw how much ST was able to
Napi.
push up with that last
Navi gue cuma dapat 3.
those top 3 situations.
You can see Nova here, 6th place. Yes, that's not great, but they still get 6 and 7 more points ahead of the teams we're trying.
Ini kita Sunhawk aja ya kan? Sambil nunggu room ya kan?
Nunggu kamu.
Ya Allah belum ada Sunhawk ya Allah.
Saya ini.
Paraboy, the MVP yet again. It's the second MVP in a row out of him. He's like, you know what, Order?
Ya Allah, TDM aja kamu gak ada roomnya cu, gak ada downloadan cu.
I mean, you know that blue, those blue lines, that's order, okay? He's still pretty far when it comes to elimination. So, though in terms of overall damage, he's still really high coming out from him. The blue one.
Kayaknya kemarin
Yeah,
bisa gitu man.
that's order, and you know that that's going to still require a really huge day from Paraboy if he wants to overtake it. It's $10,000, you know, it's a pretty good vacation. Make to a hotel, get pampered, you know, you'll be fine.
Yeah, get on to the Fairmont Hotel over in Singapore. You see here the
Nggak
points
bisa
they do
downloadnya
have,
apa ya?
they have a 62
Kenapa, yo?
point lead.
Dia sama
62, I think I said 72 point is I was expecting at the end of the day here. I might really go back.
Bedanya berarti
I don't think I'll be right anymore.
di
Udah ke download tuh
Far,
padahal.
but the really interesting point in this game that you got to keep in mind is
62.
that all the teams that we're looking at here, which are going to be Navi, Nima Galaxy, and Next Ruya, are currently in second, third, and fourth
Saya tuh Sunhawk
respectively.
ada.
They all went out
Error
before
tuh,
top
Sini,
10, and
sekat.
while Nova was still able to get a decent amount of points, so that gap is once again increasing. We're starting to get to the
You know,
point where there's no comeback from
Can we
this
give a
team.
special shout out to D Xavier here in 5th place? 0 chicken dinners. Every team around them has one, and yet they're still in 5th. That's pretty good here, especially for the team coming from Vietnam. And if we compare them to Damwon, they're able to really maintain performance they had in the finals of the league stage in East.
That is impressive. I mean, if you look at their placement points, they have more placement points than anybody near them. That means they're being consistent in regards to those placement points. I do want to give another shout out to 628. They were able to jump up to that 6th place, and this is what I was talking about. We've been talking about which team can catch Nova, right? We might be getting to that point now where some of these teams are definitely not going to be able to.
Terlalu keren game ini.
Becomes an issue of some
Game yang tadi
teams that were intense
atau
playing
PUBG-nya yang keren. Kira gua.
I have the impression we're going to start seeing Order and Paraboy drop different locations. Like they're hot dropping each other right now, just contesting early frags. They're just going to like, okay, we're going to take one team each. We'll try and get all the eliminations, but they're fighting for that MVP spot.
They're not even playing. They don't even need to play afraid. I mean, Paraboy almost took Secret on by himself. Like that's how much confidence they have individually to win fights. They're taking fights uphill, which is already tough to do against the teams, the caliber of teams we have. They just have no fear.
It was Team Secret. I think we have to give a shout out to Jumper from Team Secret because even though we haven't really spoken to Team Secret or seen anything from them, Jumper being able to beat the 2 players, right, that are currently in that contention for MVP, that's going to be a confidence boost for this player. And I mean, these teams are still fighting it out for some prize pool, so hopefully we'll see a little bit different. I'm not going to say Team Secret's going to go all the way to top 3. That's not what I'm saying. But it could be maybe a confidence boost to push them to top 10.
Yeah, I think it could definitely be happening. Though, if I do have to bring potentially a negative aspect to the table on that play, I think that Nova could have played that a little bit better on that push onto Jumper. They could have gone for a 2-man push at the same time, but they just went one by one.
Are we nitpicking right
now?
Yeah,
Yeah, I am nitpicking. I'm trying to find the small little details. Like, I can go negatively on that aspect. Otherwise, it's 99% good gameplay.
Paraboy should have definitely waited for Order, but they're currently fighting for that MVP, so he wanted to get those elims first.
I'll get it first.
Yeah, we're not happy with them being 60 points ahead. They need to be 160 points ahead, everyone. But the fact is, I mean, they still technically can improve, but obviously we have to be hesitant to, I'd say, critique them because we don't know the columns going on within the team. We don't know.
Dah aman ya.
Really relaxed, right? Maybe
Welcome to the stream, guys. 3 game lagi. 4 game lagi, guys. Menuju penentuan juara PMGC.
We just don't die, or we're gonna win this whole thing. I can already go to my bank, cash that check right now. I'm already thinking about what do I want to buy? Some new shoes, maybe a nice car, maybe want to help Max out and get him some skins finally in the game. Who knows?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go somewhere completely different with that. But
we're not sending Max to Turkey. No.
I completely agree with you in regards to Nova just playing a little bit more relaxed. I'm not gonna lie, Max. I would love to see Oder and Paraboy drop in different locations. And I think what you were trying to go for is mostly Nova trying to do a 4 corners. Are they that confident? Are they that comfortable right now that they can just try to have a player, each player just land in a different spot just for fun?
Maybe the last match.
Maybe the last 2 games, just for the memes.
And then Paraboy's going to land like near Order and like try to nade him down. You know? So this is my MVP now. Get out of here.
I would just like them to try and nade each other. Like, no, get out.
That's what we're getting at too now. They're trying to down each other before they get any aliens.
Yeah, Order, take that car and run off. Ba, 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 ba.
Okay.
Well, we're seeing 6-8 here in the rotations they made. Obviously, they close out the victory here on Miramar. And I mean, what do you want to say about 6-8's victory? Did it look easy? Look hard? Did they have to fight for it? I mean, still getting the eliminations they got. I think it was like 27 points, I think. Or no, it was 25, right? Because they got 10 eliminations. It was a very strong game, but unfortunately, this team has just been a little bit quiet, but they are moving up the leaderboards. They are securing themselves better positions. And more importantly, they're showing the world that there's not only one Chinese team that's better than you in the likes of Nova. There's 2.
Yeah, and this is the Chinese team that doesn't have this type of experience in PMGC, right? So maybe need a little bit more time to get into the swing of things. And here, actually, it was a very slow-paced game very early on in this match. I think early to mid-game, not much was really happening for them. The moment they had control 7 of that road section that was down south of the Lake Circle, they were gatekeeping almost everyone. I think in particular, Infinity was a team that just could not make it across that road because the hold that was coming through from 6-8 was just so strong, it's impossible to make that rotation actually happen. And the moment you know you cleared all the south, start going uphill, start taking control, going for the wide splits, and make sure that no one has a living opportunity or chance to take that fight against you. So 6-8, this is the type of finishes that I'd love to see from them. I wish I could see it just a little bit more.
I mean, we might be able to, right? This is a team that already has 2 chicken dinners. They still have, 4 more games to play. There could be a chance that they're going to see that prize pool getting bigger and bigger. Thanks, my math was great. They're going to see that prize pool getting bigger and bigger as they move up, and they might start changing, they might start adjusting, especially with some of the other teams. I got to call one out. I got to call out Alpha 7. I mean, Alpha 7 right now, they're having to, they might not even make it to top 10. Yeah, do Brazil not making it to top 10. And when we talk about that, like, remember what we were saying with Godlike, how we were hyping up Godlike, okay, maybe they're going to be able to make it to top 10. Alpha 7 might be putting themselves in a situation where they might not make it to top 10.
I feel like for maybe Alpha 7, and I mean, this can sound kind of negative, but it's not really entailed that way. I think being in Brazil, sometimes with the performance they've had over the course of the year,
576,
it becomes like an echo chamber for them. They kind of think they're the best team in the world, and they kind of have a wake-up call. But speaking of wake-up calls, we're going to head over to Singapore here, and we have an interview with Tixie with Charmaine. Take it away, and let's see what Tixie has to say.
Ngomong apa nih Tixi nih?
Hello from Singapore for the PUBG Mobile Global Championship Grand Finals. I'm Charmaine E, and oh my gosh, I wish you could feel the excitement, the exhilaration. And with me now, we have Navi. We have, of course, Tixi from Navi. Hi. Good to see you. A big hello to all your fans internationally. A few questions for you. The grand finals is only 4 matches away from ending, and looking at the standings, you are within striking distance of the championship. With that in mind, what preparations did you make coming into today?
Всем привет. У нас осталось последние 4 игры до окончания всего матча. Как вы думаете подготовиться ментально к последним 4 играм? Думаете ли вы поменять стратегию?
Нет, мы не планируем менять стратегию. Будем играть также от края, и мы планируем занять топ-1. Не будем смотреть таблицу до последнего матча. На последнем матче посмотрим, и если нужно будет, на кого-то упадем, и, возможно, у нас получится выиграть. Мы рассчитываем на первую, вторую строчку.
We are planning to be on the first or the second place. We are not going to look at any tables and the results. We are just focused totally on our games, and we are not going to change any of our strategies. We are on our way.
That was actually going to be my next question, which is, after the last match, will you be making changes? So no changes?
Yeah. Вы не думаете менять никакие стратегии еще?
Нет, мы будем играть так же, как и играли все 12 матчей.
Jauh juga dari Rusia ke Singapura. Daripada main dari Singapura, Teguh. Mau ping berapa, Teguh?
Final question, because I know you want to get back to it. Which team do you think will pose the greatest threat to your chances today?
Какая команда самая большая проблема для вашей команды? Как вы думаете?
Думаю, что Нова, они на протяжении турнира очень стабильно отыгрывают и отыгрывают до последнего матча. Они также играли очень стабильно на лиге, но у них там чуть-чуть не пошло, они заняли 4-ю или 5-ю позицию.
As it's seen, the Nova, they are playing very stabilized and on their way. They were also the first in their previous game. But unfortunately, they take the first place on the previous leagues. But here they are going more better and stabilized.
All right, well, all the best of luck from all of us here in Singapore. Otherwise, sending all the love back to the analyst desk. Thank you so much for joining us here in Singapore. We have Titsi from Navi.
Oh, it's just me. Okay. Hey, that's
man.
they're
Wait
waving
alone,
us
Jason.
because contractually obligated time here to be on air. It's actually great to hear about Tixi and obviously get to hear that Nova is their biggest threat. But to be fair, I think we kind of assumed it. You okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I was just thinking about Singapore.
I know what you're thinking about. You're thinking about OnePlus, actually. Funny enough, Seven, it's actually our sponsor here at PMGC. You guys can unlock victory with the OnePlus 9 Pro with its ultra smooth gaming and its 90 FPS. And you guys never have to settle when using a OnePlus. And obviously, that's what Nova are using here because they're decimating everyone out there. And Paraboy in particular is like, I'm not settling for second place MVP. He's going to unlock victory, and he's going to take it himself. Yes. I do miss having you and Claris there staring at the phone next to me, and then Claris doing like weird faces as well. But also a big shout out to Singtel here, our carrier over in Singapore, providing ultra high speed network with 2 times lower latency. They're helping the event out as well. It's a big sponsor. What was that?
I don't know, speed? I don't know.
Are you the Flash?
Yeah, I was trying.
All right, well, we'll zip on out of here. We'll quickly head on over to a break while we see what other characters and superheroes Max can pretend to be. And we'll see you guys in just a few moments here. Your hands are in the way, Max, for match 3.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Eddie, are you okay?
Kok gelap layarnya?
Yay! Oh. Can you see how many flowers
Ya
are
ini
there?
dia kedatangan dari pemain.
Waduh, ada sponsor baru nih. Ada streamer ngeri nih, streamer ngeri nih. Kaput jangan lupa ini ya Kaput ya. Jangan lupa bantu share ya Kaput ya.
Iya Dedek, nanti kakak share.
Streamer paling ngeri nih satu Indo.
Iya Dedek kan. Iya.
Kemarin ikut Nimo Gala ya Kak ya kemarin ya Kak.
Iya.
Iya.
Gimana kesan-kesannya Kak?
Gimana kesan-kesannya?
Wah keren banget.
Wah saya nyari kakak tapi gak ketemu Kak.
Oh, kamu
Iya.
gimana? Oh my god, wow.
Aku nonton doang, aku nggak langsung ke sana. Tapi biasanya orang Eropa banyak yang main game PC, sedikit yang main game mobile. Gak nyangka aja masih diperwakilan dari Eropa. Kayak Boom Dota perwakilan dari Indonesia. Gak nyangka aja masih diperwakilan dari Eropa. Iya, banyak ke PC. Cuman ya memang jago aja sih. Kayak pasti sebanyak-banyaknya. Mungkin kayak kalau buat awal-awal mungkin kayak gini sih guys. Kayak game mobile ya. Awal-awal pasti yang juara tuh di tim East terus. Kayak Indo 2 kali kan, 3 kali kan. Kayak awal-awal FF juga juara kan tim Indo. Mobile Legends tim Indo, juara dunia pertama juga kan nggak pertama sih ya. Indo juga juara dunia kan PUBG Mobile kan. Itu untuk awal, tapi kan ketika gamenya udah grow ke tahap yang lebih tinggi, lebih baik gitu, lebih lama gamenya, tim-tim lain tuh udah mulai catch up gitu, bahkan dari West juga. Ya nggak, Coach Carly? Oh cuek nih Coach Carly nih. Bener ya Coach?
Itu yang dari Ken bilang.
Woi.
Karena emang susah guys untuk mempertahankan itu guys. Saya sendiri udah pernah juara dunia nih guys.
Kamu udah juara dunia apa bro? Lomba roasting kah?
Adalah itu. Ini teman saya bareng juara dunia.
Siapa?
Namanya Putri.
Putri.
Kak Putri.
Oh iya, Kak Putri emang juara dunia sih.
Waduh. IGL kita mana? IGL kita nih?
Mana Gio?
Gak tahu saya.
Udah melok nyusul ya Pak. Nyusul tanggo kok.
Enggak, nanti aja aku aja mulai. Coming soon nyusul. Bareng kau. Bareng kamu. Mau.
Bilang sepanjang umur, semoga amin.
Gak bisa banyak banget. Emang nih, Ge? Hah?
Welcome back to my YouTube channel, my YouTube Boom Esports. Ayo guys, kita bantu share-nya guys. Di sana kita saat lagi atau akan di akhir live kita akan bagikan giveaway ya guys ya.
Mantap.
Apa itu giveaway-nya? Spesial, makanya nonton sampai akhir guys.
Ngeri. Cocok.
Kalau misalnya dibagiin mobil ya kan. Nah, nonton sampai akhir ya.
Cocok lu bro.
Aduh.
Ada juga bagian GoPay dari Gio.
Ada Gio, mana Gio?
Gio, pengen bagi giveaway GoPay Gio? Kak Gio, apa dari Kak Putri yang ingin bagikan GoPay?
Enggak, kebetulan dari Kak Gio.
Tapi Gio-nya ini caknya nyusul dia nih. Nyusul tanggo Putri. Nah, benar.
Dia ngebug.
we are back and about to hit the halfway point here at PMGC 2021. This is our final day here at the Grand Finals. And at the end of the day, we're going to have our champion, our best team in the world, and they're going to be $1.5 million richer. And at the moment,
Wih. Santai yo. Datang ngamuk-ngamuk Gio ini.
everyone's gaming as well here on the desk, join me, Jason Kaplan, as we break all this down. And so
Bunyi
far,
mesin.
Nova
Ngapain kau?
have looked just as good.
Lagi di bengkel ayo.
Making it even more difficult for all the other teams out there to catch up to them. But we are seeing some teams start to stand up here. Stalwart Esports in match number 1. We saw 6-8 here in match number 2. So we had 2 STE teams taking victories. Will it be a third? Well, only time will tell here. But we talked about marriage, right? Not in the terms of proposing and getting engaged to the love of your life. We're talking about the marriage between elimination points and placement points. And right now, Nova are in a very sweet spot.
They definitely are. I mean, Max, this is something that we've been asking. And another thing I want to mention, this team it's scary in a way that they just keep on improving every year. If I remember last year.
Say what now?
That can't be right, because if that's in the on Sandhawk, sorry, I didn't notice that. This is on Sandhawk only. That is actually insane. Noticing, because we've only had 2 Sandhawks being played, and I didn't realize Nova was doing that well in ranking points.
That's actually really scary, right? Because
That's
I mean,
very-
this is the game where I'm going to say that they are. The chances for some of the teams in our top 4 is going to be gone after this game, and the fact that
Siapa Carly?
RV are not
Ya Allah Carly.
on this map.
Itu saudara Carly.
Jadi bocoran Pak Boom siapa nih? Siapa nih Teguh? Ini nih yang lagi di Discord nih pemain Boom baru semua nih guys. Ada Boom Puts, Boom siapa lagi nih? Boom G-Clutch. Ada Boom Carly nih.
Carly payo mandi dulu Carly. Ya
Because
Allah.
now they're giving that, we were mentioning it earlier, they're giving a chance for other teams to just close that gap. And pretty soon, I'm gonna put it up there. Some of the teams that we really haven't seen in second, third, and fourth place, I think they're gonna start getting replaced. We haven't really seen next Ruya in such a long
Udah
time.
dulu ya guys ya, saya ada
We
scream.
haven't talked about
Oh ya ada Scream.
what happened in Frozen.
Ngeri.
Screamnya nggak bareng
They slowed down so much that it affected next
Iya,
Ruya.
ini
So that
screamnya
question still,
itu
I mean, it
apa
was
nolong
answered that
tim
no,
sebelah.
next Ruya.
Oh nolong.
Frozen is not performing. We need to see Frozen. We need to see next Ruya again if they want to maintain themselves within that top 3 situation.
Wah parah sih Kar.
It's not.
But it's mine.
Well, that's my. Hey, we can make 7 jealous. No, I'm not doing that with you. Just kidding. I'm just thinking at the end of the day
I'll just go
yesterday.
back to Turkey. I get
For
it.
me and you, next Ria. Now, Max, I'll say why I'm saying next Ria is basically what someone pointed out. The fact today they have not performed. They have not looked good, and they could be slipping from 2nd to 3rd, from 2nd to potentially like 5th, 6th, 7th place here at this rate. And that's the difference between hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Normally I would come in with my own point, but it's actually the same thing as 7. We got the same reason behind it, because they've just not been really performing today, and we need to see them get back into things, because otherwise, I mean, they're currently standing in, what is it, 3rd place, just above Nigma Galaxy. They need to get a good result, because now it's starting to get to a point where lead is going to be extremely hard to close in the next 3 games that will remain after this Sanhok, so they need to get a performance here. If it's just a top 3, I'll be happy. A win.
Jadi scream malam dia.
I agree with that, but it's not next Ruya. It's going to be my pick. It's going to be Alpha 7. And kind of along the lines of what you guys were saying, it's just a team that just hasn't been performing. Usually in Sandhawk, so far, this tournament, they have averaged about a 9th place finish and only 4 elims. That is not the stats that I'm used to seeing from Alpha 7. Hopefully, they'll be able to step it up here. Yesterday, they had an amazing rotation, but for some reason, they decided to play bumper cars in a location where you shouldn't be playing bumper cars. So maybe they'll be able to learn from that and readjust.
All right, real quick, I'm going to switch it up on you two. Predictions of who's going to win this match.
Next Ria.
Next Ria.
Nova.
Okay, I mean, you have the realistic answer. I can pretty much agree with you there. I want to hope for Infinity, but you know one thing I don't have to hope for of who's going to be coming up next on your screen. It's going to be Mustache Dave and Necro once again to cover Papa Blue and the story on Sandhawk.
Alhamdulillah. My bad, guys.
3rd game of the final day, Dave. And, well, one question that's really bugging my mind is what happened to Alpha 7 and Dawn 1 Gaming in that previous game?
Oh, let it go. Man, all right, chat. Respect to you. I get it. I underestimated Don Juan Gaming. They did win the East Finals for a reason. But I'm from the West Side, man. West Side, best side. So I gotta go. And 7, hey, we heard right there. 7 has the same prediction for this game. We gotta represent.
Okay, guys.
Oke guys. Udah bro, kamu cast dulu bro.
After that play,
Saya lagi ganti sensi dulu.
ignore what happened. don't even think about it. Just come into the Sandhawk map with the bigger picture on their mind, and that's getting that winner chicken dinner. Right now, it is critical for teams not perform well to not get tilted. So let's see what happens. We're officially halfway done with today after this game. And
Pada malam hari ini.
Pada match saat ini. Ya di sini langsung saja di backup dari siapa tadi namanya.
Not able to clutch the situation out. 2-on-1 falls down. Clutch God gets traded out easily. Duke and Machine confirming the kill, but yeah.
Backup yang cukup baik.
What I really noticed really cool. What's really cool was the circle. Now it's divided equally on those 3 islands, and I do want to see where the circle is going to be shifting. Now, if the circle shifts on top left, that means 628 and Navi are going to be having a huge advantage inside the game, and they can try and hold off all the teams that will try and cross over the other side. But if the circle shifts on the right side, that means Stalwart Esports are going to be causing a hell of a ruckus. So I do want to see where the circle is going to be shifting. But now we have Z-God closing in some distance on Fenerbahce.
Yeah, it looks like God looking for some revenge play out here, looking to possibly take out Fenerbahce. I see Jonathan in the back lines too, so they're looking to get the 3-way pinch going right here. Fenerbahce, they are prepared. You know, they're aware of what's about to happen. We see them prone. They got the Vector, they got the Uzi, so they got some weapons that are really good up close and personal. So really, if they bolt through his windows, they're gonna need to be careful.
Yeah, keep this in mind, ladies and gentlemen. This is the 3rd game of the final day. That means after this game, half of the day is already going to be concluded. That means after 3 games, champion will be announced. And for now, it's looking pretty clear.
Siapa nih menang nih bro? Kali ini Fenerbahce versus
trying to push against Fenerbahce, and Fenerbahce
Godlike.
They're not really giving their
Ini Fenerbahce ini ya. Fenerbahce harusnya memenangkan fight kali ini. Wah, digepung deh ya. Salah deh guys ya. Kamu gimana nih bro? Coachnya kurang nih. Kamu pelatih tim apa sih bro? Woi, hampir dia kena clutch guys ya. Tinju mukanya. Rata FB-nya ya. Belum. Satu lagi. One more.
Because that duo, they're pretty much by themselves because Fenerbahce, their other 2 squad mates that were still alive are completely opposite of each other. Look at this. We got Noxbomb at Dock, so they're just so far away that it's just impossible to provide that support. And it looks like one of them actually tried to swim across the channel to get there in time, and they were also spotted, tagged, and bagged. So Noxbomb, well, it is Sandhawk, so I said it the other day, Sandhawk is that map that can really turn the tides when it comes to placement points because of the fact, and you know where I'm going with this, you can heal. You can get all the meds. So if I'm Noxbomb right here, I'm going to every building, every compound. I'm looking underneath every single bush, every single car, and I'm picking up the meds.
Siapa nih?
I am planning to just heal my butt off. At least the 5th to 4th place, get those 6 placement points, those 8 placement points, and just try to help the team out in general when we look at the overall leaderboard.
Now, Furious Gaming has to be one of those teams that has been making quite a lot of changes in the roster, right? They just keep on making those switches happen. Big Milo for Triggers in, but the problem is inside this game we didn't even get to see him in action. Got taken out quite early, so don't really know if that was or not. But Furious Gaming left with only 2 players alive. Fenerbahce with only 1, and then you've got like 3 players. Now, me personally, I'm from India, coming inside the tournament, coming inside the grand finals. I was so.
Wih, berenang dia bro dalam situ bro. Oh enggak bro. Berenang kah? Oh enggak.
Even if they're top 10, that's going to be quite huge.
Yeah, and right there, couple of points, 3.
For rival versus A7 nih bro. Wah, connect nih bro.
Tossing a grenade. Oh, little shy of the mark here. 4 rivals turtling up right here. Anticipating a potential push.
Wah, Karilho, bye-bye. Oh, enggak. Wah, gokil. Kok Karilho nih bro, bukan Carlo. Kalau kamu kan Victor kan? Bener nggak? Ya, baik dulu. Mundur dulu. Lari dulu guys, mundur.
provide that
Mundur-mundur bukan berarti kita kalah ya guys ya.
Bukan berarti kita kalah. Tapi
So I think after last game,
Ya itu tadi
failed
dia
attempt to play in that
memikirkan
compound
dengan
themselves,
matang.
they
Waduh,
realized, okay, we
dia nggak
do
pernah
not want to
ngawal.
risk it. Currently 10th place overall. If
Bisa
they were to
ngelintas
lose
nih tadi.
one or even two members this early on Sandhawk, that will set them back big time. So I like the call.
wih gila.
These are how those
Begitu bro kalau nembak bro.
furious gaming. Unfortunate start for
Kamu
them.
kayaknya sabun bro kalau nembak pakai M16 bro.
All the way in the bottom of leaderboard.
Ya.
Okay, I really do feel like the next 3 games that are about to come.
Nice try Fenerbahce.
Because I feel like the next 3 games, this is where the final teams
Ya,
might
apa
just start
komentar
to
dari
explode.
Kak Gio setelah kita lihat pertarungan di peringkat 13 dan 14 tadi Kak Gio?
Cuek Kak Gio, cuek. Tidur.
Like S2G, we're all prone. Just
Bagus
look
ya,
at the
ya
doorway.
udah
Silence though,
makasih.
UMP. Yep. Look at this. S2G are setting up a trap, and trap is strong. We're able to knock out one of the squad mates from the Xavier.
S2G, as you mentioned, Jake Davis straight up walking into the trap. Lamborghini though trying his best to reply back.
Lari.
Point, the fallen man
Oh lari.
will be confirmed. Yeah, Lamborghini
Lari.
has the speed of Lamborghini, just falling back.
Oh, dude!
Oh,
Silence.
punch out, punch out.
Punch out.
Salt on the injury.
The 1-2. So real quick, I want to touch on that 3-man push from Alpha 7. I feel like if they would have, and I'm going to keep talking about it a little bit. I feel like if they
Waduh,
would've
setup
pushed
jembatan
out,
nih dia guys.
Oh, look at this. Yeah, I feel like if they would have,
Wih, diklat sama Sisung, cuk.
because they did not win that.
1 lawan 4, cuk.
I feel like
Nggak 1 lawan 4 sih, 4 orang ya.
here, and that's why we see them pull them back and not playing that aggressive play style that we're used to seeing from Alpha 7, at least in the West League.
Some played that situation so perfectly in
Junie
Miramar
too.
against Alpha 7.
Junie juked them
Yeah.
from the second story,
Yeah.
popped out the window and vaulted through instead of going down the stairwell.
Junie was more kind of like the distraction, and Sung was just set up for like MVP play, and he did so in that fight. So Junie overall as well, doing a perfect job, and Sung from the back just striking and
apaan
taking
nih dia?
each and every single player down
Meta apa ini? Tiksi.
single-handedly. But yeah, now Na'Vi, another one of those teams. As I mentioned, every single team on the map currently is just waiting for the next circle shift, where the next circle shift is going to be heading towards. If it goes on the top left island, as I mentioned, 6 to 8 are going to be in a huge advantage.
Huge, man, huge. And Na'Vi getting a lot of spotlight here today because they are in second place. They are Nova. They're just being so consistent. You know, even if they get 1 or 2 of their squad mates taken out here early to mid game, they still are just a force to be reckoned with when it comes to those elim points. So they are doing a great job at just maintaining here today.
Yeah, no, without a doubt, man. It's like all the time they're able to get those stellar
Kemana circle ini, bro?
inside the game.
Ending di mana nih bro Carly?
Kalau saya lihat sih endingnya bakal di mana nih di STE masuk dalam circle sih Mas ya.
Jadi ke STE nih circle ini.
Ya STE.
STE chicken kah?
You're just better.
Belum tentu.
Belum tentu ya.
And they're telling Order that in his ear, and Order's just pushing up with the grenade. Order got a double grenade onto Team Secret last game that we saw. Now, of course, Jumper was able to defend that shack phenomenally, really clutching it out. But those are the team comps. The team comps right there. You're better. You're better. You got this. You got this. So I love to see it. And, well, getting into this game, next Ria, I believe the desk were kind of talking about how they have been slipping down the leaderboards here today. Any thoughts on that from your perspective?
Yeah, honestly, next Ria, the consistency factor seems kind of like slowly and steadily dissipating away. But still, they have tied up against Na'Vi. 131 points for both these teams, and this game is going to mean quite a lot. Because as I mentioned, after this game, that means half of the day is already going to be concluded.
Ini kalau misalnya Nova yang chicken gimana nih bro? Fix juara kah bro? Fix ya? Juara deh ya?
Next Ria, they can either go for those new battles, as you like to mention it.
Masuk 5 besar aja udah fix juara.
Fix juara deh kalau masuk 5 besar ya. Meskipun 2 game tusun gitu ya.
2 game tusun.
Jimmy on the
Si Novanya harus ini.
Jimmy on
harus apa deh?
Harus chicken.
Harus chicken match ini berarti kan?
Next level, yeah, that is Definitely. I would not
Kenceng juga
want
nggak
to be
bisa sih.
anywhere near
Masih belum bisa
the
sih ini Segen.
Belum bisa ya?
Sisa
Oh, oke
sisa
oke.
tiga match lagi nih.
Iya, 3 match lagi, 3 match lagi. Ini ini sama ini 3
those two
match.
teams, I'm pointing them out because they are all the way down there in the south still, looking for
Berapa
some
menit? 17,
additional
berapa
pets, in
18?
my opinion. And these are
Berapa
teams
sih nih?
that we might see them
Ini
actually
match
get this
15.
heal going, but let's see. This is going to be an indicator. Will Jonathan
Nggak tahu
take
deh.
these shots? If Jonathan does not take these shots to me,
Enggak,
then
masih
what
masih
we
4
see
match
is
lagi yang main nih.
okay. Well, position cup out freak, but there's Moody up there on the high ground.
Oh,
And
nah
yes,
di
Jonathan
Jonathan
was
tadi ya guys ya.
well turned on and
Dikiranya satu
taken
orang
out. So I don't know
satu
if that was
orang
worth it,
dia
man.
Yeah,
Kena ABD dia kah?
turns around and slaps him right on the face.
langsung terkena backup
Taking out the
dari
game now. Freak,
Tomdi.
but still, gotta say, Jonathan was able to at least get one man out. But the separation from Godlike, not a big fan of that. Neo again separated out from Clutch.
Ya
Z-God.
ampun.
Kind of unhappy about that. But yeah, Z-God was able to wipe Fenerbahce out of existence, so that's pretty good. They still have 4 points on
Tim
the
saya
table.
siapa nih yang bagus main berarti?
And they
Invin.
can try and go for a little bit of
Berdelapan.
survival game as well if they do want to have more points on their hand. As I mentioned, the goal is top 10.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's concerning to me right there. I definitely feel like Jonathan could have let that one slide.
18 match sama ini sisa 4 match ya, 4 match lagi tuh. Gimana?
Get a little too thirsty. And,
Siapa?
trying to get a elim point. I don't know.
Siapa yang GX?
I mean, Sandhawk's the game. Sandhawks
Oh, Dex dari saya. Oh iya,
is
Dex ya.
the
Dari
fastest
Vietnam ya.
definitely
Dex
field,
berarti.
to win. I'm a true believer of that.
Yeah, Thanos is definitely one of those games where they can try and go for those kind of shenanigans. But still, Enigma Galaxy haven't rotated inside the zone yet. They're one of those teams that are going to take a leave pretty late. Have all 4 of their players alive in the game. I'm pretty sure Enigma Galaxy has to be one of those teams that are going to be going for those heal battles.
And look at that. They got the
Wow.
So those shots were for nothing. Those shots
Infin nih
were
bro,
for
Infin nih
nothing.
chicken bro.
Next zone goes up though. So top
NGX tuh banyak belajar dari ini deh guys.
nothing. Look at that. I mean, a hard
Enggak, NGX itu kan coachnya orang Malay kan. Harusnya dia tahu meta healingnya.
6 to 8.
Knock.
One man gets caught out.
Wait,
in the
nggak
open.
kenok dong? What?
Looking pretty tricky.
Nah, itu dong.
Moves out from cover, and Scream is going to capitalize onto it, and now is looking to confirm the kill. But still, is not going to be able to do so. Just a little knockout. He has to be satisfied with that. Scream instantly backs off, not being a little greedy, not being too greedy in that situation. But yeah, Furious Gaming, they only have 2 players to work with, so at this point,
Nah, beraka tuh
you
si
want that
Kudur.
situation, or you can just try and play a little safe.
Ya, kena HBD kamu.
Play a little safe here. Silas Pew. Players from the right here. Catching some angles.
Bagus juga nih, Sikas bisa nih match ini.
Find out some enemies out there, and Don Juan cruising over this bridge. They are going to be towards the south here, not in the play zone, so they're looking to reposition. Miku though, yep, looking for them, waiting for them to go for that swim. Once when they're in the water, easy pickings, and looks like Miku's going to wait for at least 2 of them.
Sabar, sabar.
Providing support for his teammates who are currently swimming across the channel as well. So they are playing a crucial role to the success of the trio trying to make it onto the land here.
Yeah, Meku is like just staying in the back. If there's a little threat, he's given a lot of visual info for the team. So now
Kena HBD kamu Forest. Oh enggak cu, tahu dia cu.
Play a little safe from that.
Ya kena.
Gaming,
Oh mati langsung pak. 3 lawan 3 kali ini ya guys ya.
We do have Meku from the back
Wah.
wall trying his best to make it hurt. Matic in the close. Forrest gets spotted from the back, and he's taking a lot of shots at his 4 rivals knocking on doors of Down One Gaming.
Sisa 2 Damon Gaming di sini.
Still in the water, man.
Sisa 1.
He doesn't want to pop up. He can't pop up because once when he goes on the shorelines, he might get spotted. And all those gunshots ringing on out. Now 4 rivals going to be looking right on top of him.
4 rivals, yeah, as you mentioned, they joined a third party. Actually, 4 rivals, that's huge high ground over here in this fight. Not for those still. A little slow. They're going to be going for the res on the fallen man. Takes it. Down One Gaming still has another one man alive on the right side. And Navi, I feel like it's not going to be a huge threat for Navi. So Navi, of course, as I mentioned, they're tied up in next trio. They already have 2 points on their pockets. So that means Navi are now in 2nd place officially. But still, they will need to try and maintain it, gaining a lot of points inside this game.
Wow. It's about to be sweaty, man. 15 minutes into this match, we still got 15 teams alive here. Fenerbahce, unfortunate for them, one of the first teams to get taken out here. Davon down to just one after that engagement.
Ya kemana circle-nya ini?
So, gotta say,
Bisa dihidupin dong Dause-nya.
coming out on top
Dausi.
of that one. Next,
Waduh,
does
hack.
go up, though, just touch
Infin nih
the
bro.
edge of
STE kamu
Paradise.
kayaknya
And
jadi adik-adik sini
all
bro.
the way up there to the north, a huge position for them.
Infin ya, fix ya.
Yeah,
Fix nggak nih?
definitely having a huge
Nggak
position.
fix juga.
That's
Ah,
going to be
fix
quite
ya.
a lot.
Nah,
There's
ini
a little separation. It's a
kan
3-1
jago.
split. Melo was in the back, but I do see him retreating back towards his teammate. Logan as well, just having the high ground, making sure no one's crossing over the bridge. But 628 is making their way slowly and steadily on the other island. And Infinity will need to try and stop it. 628 if they're not going to do so. 628 winning that previous
Enggak lah, nggak
game.
nyanyur. Yang nyanyur harusnya di X nih.
Morale's boosted up quite high.
Kalau di X apa tadi yang punya? Ya di X harusnya bro.
Like this is a team mid-pack right now.
Kalau nggak di X,
Look
STA
at
nih yang
the
nyayur.
overall leaderboards with this zone shift, they have a lot of potential to really try to capitalize on getting some solid sight lines and getting a lot of elim points, especially like you mentioned, 6-8 now looking to
Ya,
reposition
kena
out there
bokong kamu
on that
Navi.
west side. But over here, one of the main focal points, all
Oh,
the
mati di mana tuh
teams
tadi?
using boot camp to try to safely rotate into zone. I'm counting at least 4 to 5 different teams in this area alone, Necro.
Ya,
No, but I
nggak
also
bisa lewat
do see
kamu.
Dawn Gaming striking from the back and taking out a player of Navi, and Meku is the man this time. Gets taken out from the back. Unfortunate stuff for them. And it was Fabian from Dawn Gaming. That one little man alive, that one snake alive from the back is going to strike in, and Navi now.
Nggak kelihatan kah tuh?
Tixi, the only man left alive in the front, has a huge burden on his shoulder.
Yeah, with said, I'm kind of surprised. 4 rivals kind of running out here in the open. Their backs exposed here. Oh, look at Tixi though. Tixi is prepared to take out.
Ya, kena ABD kamu Victor. Ya. Bisa Infin tapi dia sering melakukan kesalahan juga. Oh, oke, kita lihat gue apakah dia akan melakukan kesalahan di sini. Order nih bos. Tapi sering banget ya si Infin nih. Posisinya enak ya. Match kemarin juga enak juga tuh Sanoke. Wah, kenapa? Secret enak posisinya dari circle 3. S2G kemana S2G? Oh, S2G turun ke kompon ya. Yang punya Paradise.
So we'll get back to that because Stalwart Esports, they are pushing up. They are awfully grouped together down there in the south.
Frankie. Again, just making it hurt for next
Wih, lumayan.
They're being shot at from all the different angles, and now
Di clutch pak.
knocking on their doors. But guess what? This time Noah losing out of 2 players. Jimmy and King fall down, and Yikta is the man putting in a lot of work against Noah.
Infin nih 1 juta % sih.
Korea too, that team in 3rd place. Yes, they did get taken out right there, but still. Being able to play spoiler to your enemy here in 1st place for that $1.5 million, that's
Steam still.
Oh, Navi taken out too though.
Yeah, Navi are going to be on the 2nd place. So, oh man, I can already imagine the next 3.
NGX langsung naik peringkat 2 nih.
Absolute insanity.
Karena dia masih double digit kan.
Having the high ground inside the zone over here, but they will need to leave it soon. That means leaving it high ground.
Waduh.
Move out in the open, and that's where problems are going to
33 first 8 bro.
Esports as well, trying to swipe their ground up in the front, just to try and move inside the zone.
So I think Nigma Galaxy have 23 first aids. They are in 4th place right now. If they can try to heal up and overtake next Ria, that's a lot of money going their way if they can continue to maintain those points moving forward in those next 3 games like you mentioned. So let's go. The heal strat on Sandhawk. That's what I want to see. Nigma Galaxy pulling that one out here.
Honestly, personally, I don't really like to see a heal battle. But yeah, I mean, for consistency for teams, it's definitely one of the best choices out there for consistency.
Connect.
And Peppa as well is left out in the wall of death, so he's also taking quite a lot of damage.
Connect. Door. Ya ampun, 1 hit lagi, Pak.
Barely surviving on a sliver of health. He needs to start patching himself up. S2G, Silas Pew is the only hope left alive. And he is patching himself up, but this time he gets shot in the back, and it's Infinity taking out.
JX-nya gagal. Infinity bro kayak bro, Jayur bro. Udah 6 kill aja deh bro. Oh iya, coach.
Let's see if they can defend because they are getting pushed right now from all angles. Next circle does favor them once again too. So Infinity, they just have to defend. Not only that, they have a duo that's in hard cover. They have a compound to work with.
Oh, finally. So many nades being utilized just to take down that one.
Wah bisa Infinity naik peringkat 2 nih. Tambah 8. 105 tambah 8 berarti 113. 13 tambah 15. Enggak, masih banyak sih kill ini. Bisa dapet sama mereka.
Unless if he has a lot of first aids to work with. But I don't think he has a lot of them.
Bisa 10 orang sih sekali 6 gila.
Secret over here. Just moving out on the edges of the zone. Hugging the wall of death. And Fredo. I do like what they're trying to do here, but Infinity are going to be having their arms open for Team Secret.
Divisi looking to try to pop in that Ronnie and group up with their teammates.
Oh,
like
no,
you said, though,
ya disampah Pak.
trying to wrap around that west side and use that hard shift angle to their advantage of the zone. Trying to assume that it's going to be safe and clear, but Tootie, with the spray down. Look at this little lean peek right here.
Oh. 9,
10 sih mentok killnya.
And now, Stalwart Esports as well.
Kayak nggak dapet deh. 9 tambah 15 berapa bro? Berapa? Hashtag 2. 14.
They're looking so good.
Necro, look what's happening. Galaxy.
Enggak, 9 tambah 15 cok. 24 ya? 24 poin. 24 poin tambah 5. 129. Tetap enggak sih. Ini NGX dapat 12 tambah 2, 14. Hashtag 2 ini ya. Boom gak sih Sanok banyak yang nge-heal? Enggak, kita nggak nge-heal guys. Apaan tuh healing, ya kan? Ya bro. Bro. No comment kah? Kok no comment sih? Invin kata kabur ya, teguh ya. Invin lagi bagus nih match ini. Udah dong, woi Rauf. Udah sisa lu jir.
And finally now able to show themselves up on the board.
Iya, sambil ngobrol sama temennya tuh dia.
Infinity to keep on to maintain that top 5 place.
Coba tonton live.
I'm happy for Galaxy because I think coming into this game they were
tonton live, capek juga saya nge-healin ya.
getting taken out towards that mid game. This might be the game that they overtake him or at least close that gap to make it even more possible in the next 3 games to really try to get as much money as possible. So Mez, man, this could be the play that gets 600K. That might be able to get him 3.
Wah, $600,000 men. Juara 2 ya, gila.
Might have just netted him 200K at the end of the day. I don't know. We'll find out. Of course, we still got 3 more games to go, but this is huge for him.
Yeah, this is definitely huge, man. As you mentioned, going for the consistency play.
Wih, dia melihat langit, apa yang di langit.
But yeah, Infinity overall though, gotta say, they really needed this. They did realize it's the 3rd game of the final day. This is where we throw the ball. If we're not able to do so, it's a do or die situation for us. But what I really want to find out is that after this game, are Infinity going to be shooting themselves up to top 5 or not?
Maybe. Look at this dude. He's just full-blown concentrated on hitting that med at the right time.
Bye-bye.
He's looking out.
Bye-bye.
Like, well, boys, this might have been the play that got us 200 extra K at the end of the day. So GG's the Infinity. Like you said, they played this one. Yes, they did get a couple zone shifts in their favor towards that mid to late game, but they also held down a compound as a duo and flexed out their other duo to make sure nobody can wrap behind them and surprise them from that west side. So they were definitely proactive this game, and you got to give it to them.
Gotta say, man, the patience as well that Infinity showed in the previous game of Sandhawk were quite huge. Infinity overall, they totally deserve this, and they desperately needed this as well, Danny.
What a game. 9 elimed. GG. And that's Sandhawk right there. We had 3 Sandhawks here.
Nggak seru Sandhawknya, nggak seru. Pan sekali 6, sisa 6 orang. Sisa 10 orang.
Any final remarks though from you, Necro?
Nothing much, man. I just want to see the final 3 games, honestly.
Final 3 games. Let's go. Get pumped up. Get that popcorn. Let's head over to the analyst desk.
Thank you, Hugh Hefner and Mustache Dave, as we have closed out our third match of the day. That means it's our halfway point of our final day of play here at Infinity. I mean, I talked about it before we started the entire event. They're super consistent when it comes to Sandhawk, but shoutouts to Enigma Galaxy here. They won Sandhawk day one. They get a second place here. Like, they get a lot of points. As you heard Dave saying, that might be the difference between $200,000.
Yeah, we saw the rise of the heal-off strat all of this year, actually, and well, if you don't like it or if you like it, doesn't really matter, because you might just win for Enigma Galaxy an extra 450,000 between that 4th and 2nd place, just able to overtake potentially Nova, sorry, not Nova just yet, that's a little bit too far, sorry, Na'Vi and also Nextria.
Spoilers, did you read the script already?
Nah, not yet, but it is possible. So the heal-off strat, I mean, it works out, you get consistent point every single time. Enigma Galaxy, they found the secret source and it works out every single time almost.
It definitely does. The only thing that kind of concerns me, right, is just the amount of LMs. This is like a consistency thing with them. When they won, they ended up with 8 LMs. This one, they ended up with 2. And yesterday, they ended up with 3 LMs in Sandhawk. So they might be getting the placement points, but I still feel like they need to work out with their LMs.
Just to show you, Nova 9th place, Na'Vi 13th, and Nextria at 14th. So Nova still keeping a lead over 2 out of the 3 teams we're trying to chase against them, meaning it's even more difficult now with 3 matches left to go to see Nova be surpassed. But
boring banget, boring. Sanoke.
Team as an MVP here, 7?
It's definitely not. I mean, he was actually in contention, if I'm not mistaken, Max. He was in contention
He's
to be that MVP, right? Like top 5, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it was top 4, top 5 at one point, and that was down to that Miramar game. We had a huge impact actually versus, I think it was Alpha 7 on that finish versus Mafioso. He did some incredible plays on that in that exact game. Yeah, it's good to see DZEV. You know, they typically play around that position. They like to enter a little bit late inside of Paradise Resort, but this time actually was Team Secret, and we saw some good plays. Team Secret get involved versus Nextria, versus also Nova, I believe at one point in time it was. So Team Secret, they showed a few sparks this game. It's just a little bit too late to show up, but I'm still really impressed with their game.
And I mean, it's going to help them, right? They're currently in 11th place. We talk about some of these teams wanting to be in that top 10. You definitely don't want to be outside of the top 10. I feel like it's a confidence thing. It's a little badge of honor that you can also put on your Twitter handle for some of the players. And then as we're looking at here, I mean, we do see Enigma Galaxy being able to pass that Na'Vi. You were mentioning Nextria. I feel like Nextria has just let us absolutely down in a way. Not sure if it's because Frozen's not performing or whatever it might be. They ended up in 14th place with just 1 element. This is the kind of stuff that's just not going to allow you to stay within those top 3.
I have the impression with Nextria, I understand what's going on wrong on their side. There's just so many things happening around them, and there are some teams like talking about Na'Vi with their blinders on, where they're just not paying attention to what's happening too much. Here, I think they're paying so much attention to what's happening around them that they're just losing focus on the game, on their position, and it hurts them because they got pushed by, I think it was Team Secret, there was Nova at one point in that fight. I think that if they can take things step by step, would help them a lot to try and remain consistent in these fights.
Yeah, and one thing that might help them maintain being consistent is picking themselves up a 1+9 Pro with a super perfect FPS. 90 FPS, you're going to be getting yourself in-game here. You can pick one up for yourself, and you can also never settle and potentially unlock some victories for yourself on top of things. And obviously, Roof not able to get a victory quite just there, be able to help himself heal off and get that second place finish. Now, there's a couple of numbers in there that I wanted to touch on really quickly, was the fact that Enigma Galaxy, they're 4 points, only 4 points behind in placements against Nova, but they're 60 points behind in total. That means they're 50 points behind in eliminations. They have 40 eliminations. Nova have 96. Maybe they're spending too much time getting pampered at the Fairmont Hotel in Singapore. You guys seen some of the players, the pictures they're putting out there make us so jealous. It is cold here in Berlin. They must be enjoying it, and hopefully for them, they booked themselves a little bit of an extra vacation thereafter to reward themselves for their placements here, which obviously the money they're getting, they sure as hell are going to be able to get that pampering in, the 5-star hotel. Maybe us. Maybe we should go take a trip. Let's get all the talent. Let's get Mustache Dave. Let's get Necro, nice. John Allen, Blank. We'll get some extra sunscreen for those two, and we'll head on over.
John, are you listening?
Yeah, that would be great. But obviously, as we move on to talk about this, the fact that Enigma Galaxy did shoot up the rankings, but still, 60 points difference. 3 matches left. You have to average over 20 points a match, and every time, that's easy, right? But every time Nova score a point, it becomes that much harder.
At least it's remained in the same ballpark, right? It's not like they created a extra 30, 40 point lead in the first 3 games, right? There's still a chance of that happening. We said it right, 20 point every single game if you are currently in that top 4 position. And seeing how inconsistent sometimes those teams can be. Nextria have been inconsistent, Navi's been inconsistent. We're lacking kills from Enigma Galaxy. If they don't improve on those aspects of the game in these last 3 games, I just don't see it happening. It can't happen.
I mean, and that's 20 points per game, and that's just guessing, right? Not even that. That's just guessing that Nova's gonna end up losing every single of those matches with 0 points, which I just don't see that happening. Yeah.
So you're basically calling our victor right now the entire tournament?
Yeah, 100%.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Nova. I don't see any team. They even mentioned it themselves. They're the only thing that's stopping them from getting that championship.
Kurang kabur Carly. Ngeri juga bro.
I mean, I think maybe the battle we're looking at now in Nova is a battle for the MVP, and Paraboy's been putting his foot forward, but I still don't know who's actually in the lead at the moment because Order did have such a massive lead in terms of eliminations.
But I mean, we have seen Paraboy step it up in a big way, and we haven't even seen Order in any of the MPs and any of the top players. I feel like Paraboy might. I feel like that race right there might be closer than what we might be.
Yeah, I think in like match 1, Order had maybe one more elimination, but Paraboy was still the MVP because of survival time, because he was the last one remaining.
I think the thing that might make it the Order is actually the MVP at the end of the day is because he had that 2,000 extra damage at the end of day 2. Like 2,000 damage for race to MVP is huge, and to make up for that for Paraboy, I don't think we've seen enough for him to make up for that 2,000. So last 3 games, if he can get some big, maybe 5 elimination games every single time, then that might be able to allow him to close that gap. But it's too big of a gap that was created yesterday for Order. It's hard to close that one.
I mean, even with that one, we still had the gap between the average survival time, right? I think at the beginning of the day, it was a 30-minute discrepancy between those two, and Order pretty much has to just spawn in and die right away. we would have to see, we would have to see what we were talking about. We have to see Paraboy land to him and be like, hey, hold this for me, please, thank you.
Oh no, yeah. But I mean, the fact is, even besides that, we obviously can't call it a victor just yet the entire tournament. We can't call it champion just yet. Crazier things have happened, or it is looking likely for Nova. The battle then comes into like that 2nd, 3rd, 4th, potentially 5th place position. We saw Infinity. They shot their rankings off that victory into 5th place. There is still a very tight battle in these placings for runner-up.
And the craziest thing that we've seen right between 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place is that those teams continue to keep getting eliminated before we even get to a top 10 situation. I think in the last match, if I'm not mistaken, it was Nextria and Navi that got eliminated before we even got to a top 12 situation. Yes, they were able to get points in regards to elements, but it's just not enough.
Even happened in the Miramar game, I believe. All the 3 runner-ups also went out before top 10 position. That just can't happen anymore. It happens once more, you're out of that race off top 1.
And we are seeing here a little bit of a race for the Infinity to make sure to close out this match. And we can see how wide of a separation they have here as well. I mean, they have 3 players grouped up together towards the west side of the mainland, and that 1 player off very far to the east.
Yeah, not too big of a surprise. It's a pretty nice position. If there are locations that typically teams don't like to drop too much 7 right, it's going to be the northeastern side and also just the eastern coastline, which are not very populated. So if you want to go for some wide splits to get all that loot, spread your wings early on, that is a position to make that happen. But other than that, you just play the northern side. And the cool thing about these positions next to Tatmok is that you've got those little hilltop positions that are not contested, as I said, because not many teams drop there. And you get that advantage point for information. So it makes those rotations from mid to late game even easier.
I feel like a big thing that kind of helped this team get the win as well was how many teams were outside of the zone towards the south. We saw Nova having to do a big rotation where we've been talking about it too, Max. We've been saying, when is Nova actually losing? And it comes down to when, like, there's no other option where they just have to full stand it, and they're more than likely going to lose that engagement. So I felt like that was a big part of this game, but the Infinity played out perfect for themselves.
Yeah, and also talking about Infinity here, looking at actually to split the way able to play, it just gives them so much information once again that I mentioned in these positions, extremely important, but we're making sure that, for example, kind of breach onto the side, which is, I would say, one of the smartest entry points if you do not have the position that Infinity have in the first place and they're just trying to wrap around, but this 2-2 split enables you to defend that position so well, so Furious Gaming had no chance to make that play work out, and then I mean, Sanok, you got the heal off, you just got to be like, at the end of Sanok, I have the impression what you have to do, if you know this heal off, you just got to do an emote dance battle, and that's the play.
That's usually what we end up seeing, right?
I mean,
all those players dancing.
We did see one result, though, on Sandhawk. I can't remember which season it was. I think it was season 1 this last year of PMCL, where we had like 3 players left alive for, I think it was like Big, if I'm not mistaken, and they're sitting there dancing and emoting. There was one player hiding on top of the UAS who took 2 of them down and almost won the game. So, I mean, I agree. I mean, especially if you know it's probably going to be a roof healing off in the blue, you could do it. But the fact is, this is a strategy that obviously Neva Galaxy were planned for. I think Dave pointed it out. He had like 24 or 26 first aids. They knew they were gonna go for something like that, and it's not the first time we've seen them do this.
Yeah, they still had, what was it? He still had 20 first aids when he was sure he was going to be in 2nd place. I was scared at one point that potentially Infinity was going to be in the last circle, and they were going to be not able to out heal Raouf because they didn't have the first aids for it. So it's a strat that works. You can't argue with it, and just keep on going, Enigma, because you found the recipe to success.
Yep, it's not the prettiest, but as long as it gets the points, right now they're in 2nd place. They're not complaining. complaining.
More elimination.
Yeah.
Need more.
Yes.
I mean, if it might not be pretty, but if it wins me 400,000 extra dollars, I'm not gonna complain about how it looks.
You're gonna take us on a vacation?
I am definitely not gonna take you on vacation, but I will take my parents on a vacation.
Oh,
and maybe steal their 2 dogs because they're adorable little puppies. But we need to talk about the puppies. We need to talk about what's gonna be coming up next. We still have 3 matches left to go until we decide who our champion is here at PMGC 2021. So make sure you guys tune back in after a short break.
Breaknya berapa menit nih?
Homes are now where we work, learn, and, play? Oops. Homes are where we build spaces to call our own. Power on and beyond with Singapore's most trusted broadband.
I saw the first light, the first steps. Now I see much more. I capture Earth in all its beauty. I see action. I see drama. And I see it in the finest detail. Moments of inspiration. And the first steps. I am the 1+9.
It is time to find out how the rest of our day is going to go. It's the second half of the day, which means we have a change in casters. And of course, we have only 3 matches left to go for teams to catch up to Nova potentially. As hard as that word is to say, it is how hard it's going to be to overpass Nova. You can see lower tier, though, able to travel pretty far. And Rauf, I'm actually surprised to see him travel that much, considering all he was doing was probably standing in one location healing for about 20-something minutes. But to be fair, right now, Numa Galaxy gets him up quite a few placings. The problem is that strat will not work for them in the next 3 matches of the day.
Yeah. I think that's the distance traveled for all the first aids to get to him, actually. Combined, I thought it was going to work out, but yeah, it's going to be hard for that strat to work out, so we need to see potentially more eliminations, but we're going to be seeing the overall stats here over here for Erangel, and Getting close to 8.7 here for Nova, it's going to be hard to beat, but we need to see Nigma Galaxy. We need to see ourselves also potentially side of Na'Vi, especially get a win on next Rhea, and everyone's getting close to me around. Okay, we need to go back to us. Okay, oh, they lead. I looked at. Okay, it's fine.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. I don't know what that was, Max. But the fact that Nova have, what was it, 8.7 average eliminations on this map is ridiculous on Erangel. I mean, the fact is, you're playing against the best teams in the world, but to be consistent at that kind of level is very tough to do. And again, I feel like it really proves the point of, like, Nova have created a legacy for themselves, being one of the best, if not the best teams in China, but the best team in the world.
I agree with you. Quick question, actually, Max. For you, let's start off with you. Who do you honestly think is going to end up taking the MVP in between Paraboy and Order?
I think Order created too much of a gap on that second day, so I would have to go to Order. I don't know if you agree?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay,
I'm with you.
I think
Just
Order.
Mostly with what you were saying, the damage. I don't think Paraboy, he might be able to get more Illims right now.
Survival time.
Yeah, the survival time, being able to survive 30 minutes longer than the other person. If we were maybe halfway through day 2, I would question it, but right now with only 3 games left, I think Order, it's more than likely going to be taking that MVP, unless we see some Paraboy just go absolutely nuts.
So you both say Order.
Huh?
Yeah. So you both say Order. Well, I'm saying Paraboy then.
Look at your boy Jim.
Bro Carly, mana kamu Bro Carly?
Yo. Jim's next year's Jim's year.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Last year it was Paraboy's year. This year it's Paraboy's year yet again. I just realized like this doesn't make sense. No, I think Paraboy's gonna come back. I mean, there's still 3 matches to play, right? There still is a chance for him to do so, and we know he's on a tear so far today.
Mana kamu Bro?
I think it's interesting the fact that he's.
Lama nggak?
What's crazy here is that when you actually ask Paraboy who's the best player in their team,
Jangan ninjain saya, Cuk. Temenin saya bentar lagi, Cuk.
talk to him, he always says Jim.
Cepetan, Cuk.
He
Oke,
is the one that
tungguin.
allows us to perform the way we are able to perform. He's the one that puts us in the right locations. He's the reason why this team is so good. So it is interesting. I would love to see some different stats, maybe in regards to support players, and to see how Jimmy is able to pair up in regards to the other players from Nova.
Okay, well, let's maybe get into our teams to watch here, into our 4th match of the day. And Max, I don't think we start off with you often. So 7, let's hear what Max has to say of this team to watch.
You know what? I actually feel the team I went for.
with mine, it's gonna be next Rhea. This is a team that's fighting for the top 3. If I'm not mistaken, the last 3 performances, 10th, 14, and 14. That's just not gonna cut it. They need to start.
Na'Vi, I remembered midway.
Na'Vi, you remember midway? I went with Nova actually for the reason of if they have a good game here, I think they pretty much close out the victory and get themselves the title of our champion. But it's time to head over to our commentators here to kick off the second half of the day. John and Blank, take it away.
Thank you very much, Jason. We're excited to get
Nova,
to the final stretch
197
with
poin.
3 games left to go to decide the champions. Although Blank, as the desk were alluding to, it feels like it's foregone at this stage.
It feels like we are now playing for second place, unless Na'Vi can have some more consistency, but I do not see that happening. Just yesterday, 5 out of the 6 matches, Nova were in the top 5, and the match they weren't 8th place. They really do not drop out of those top spots at all, honestly. And even on Sanhok, yeah, they don't get the most amount of points there, but it really does feel like the fate has been sealed here.
And they were talking a little bit about that MVP race as well over on the desk. And I feel like if my numbers are correct, there is just no contest. It's Order, just head and shoulders above the rest of Nova right now. Sat on a clean 45 kills in this tournament, which is absolutely nuts, over 15 games.
All the way Order, honestly. And looking even more deeply into his stats there, if you look at his knocks versus his eliminations, the average is actually quite similar. So for Paraboy, a little bit more different in the sense that he has more limbs, a lot more limbs than knock averages, which to me says the Order is just translating
the
all of
expansion
his knocks
prison
into his own eliminations and doing a lot of this work solo. And I think that's very, very impressive coming from a singular player. We do get this playing path coming from Zaki all the way into Milta at the moment, so teams will have to vie for the context down towards Sosnovka military base. Stalwart have been able to make it out pretty easy, though their drop will be made late because of this, but regardless, should be able to